didn't even do my math. We're live. That's all that matters.
That was just because he was counting down. That was the math. He started at 10. He needed to get to 3, so he knew where he was. Hey, we're back. Hey.
Numbers?
Welcome back, everybody. Numbers. We're playing D&D. But I suppose we should do a slight recap of where we left off. Party finished up their downtime here in the Elven city of Silken Valley. You finished your shopping wares, sending some lists off with Adronis Warsenok and some of his associates to gather your last-minute supplies. You were waiting for your airship to be delivered. You had some interesting, heartfelt conversations with Viesa Warsenok and Adronis. On the eve before you were ready to leave, Vinteth and Valir, in Adronis's study, you confronted him about the letters that he did not open from his mistress and son. Once told that there were letters there he had not opened, he produced a letter from one of his cubbies in the study, basically saying that it was the last letter from his mistress in Moran, saying that yeah, she understood why he couldn't come, and she thanked him for everything that he did, and said that she wouldn't be contacting him anymore, and basically said, "Fuck off. I wish you a good life." Though, timing wise, and after reading the handwriting, you realized that the several letters afterwards were indeed still from Fiona Singal, and the one he received was a forgery, something he had not noticed over the many years since he received the letter, because in his younger days he was not as studious to people's handwritings and kind of just chalked it up to it being over. You got some information about House Faraxi and its current leaders, its people that were in charge when your father was dealing with them many years ago. Yeah, you had some items obtained from both Viesa and Adronis, including Seven getting some interesting new fun toys, and Viesa giving and gifting Saishori a pair of sending stones to keep in touch, and only give it to Suji unless he's super desperate. Like, he has to beg for it. He doesn't know they exist, but use your best judgment. You all awaken the next morning. You gathered your things. That evening before, you sent a couple of important sending spells out to old friends Katori Ferdinand Clay, and found out a little bit about his involvement with the sword of slaying that Saishori now possesses, and why he didn't go back for it, and found out some interesting information about him leaving a bad taste in his mouth, as the last time he used it, and the reason why it had been set to dragon is he had to use it on a friend. You arranged to meet with Katori Ferdinand Clay, our good friend KFC, at Branson's Harbor in Theris, which was convenient as it's the last stop that you can hit in Falthier before you make it to the Wastes. But you have a little bit of travel. Going to be accelerated because of your new fancy airship that's arriving in the morning. But you told Katori to wait for you there and that you would meet him as soon as you arrived. You made your final preparations, you gathered your things, you had one more night's sleep here at Warsenok Manor. You woke up the next day, you gathered your things, you headed down to breakfast, you saw a visually distraught but still functional Adronis Warsenok, who helped you with any final preparations, gifted Seven a chest with his remaining goods that he was waiting for, and agreed to accompany you to the docks where your ship would be arriving, and a crew in tow. We pick back up, you all walking through the streets, approaching the docks, where your airship is waiting for you to see it, um, gain possession of its title and everything involved with the things of the ship, christen it, if you will, and prepare for your travels here and beyond as you have one airship cost free for a full year. After that, you still own the airship, but you'll have to pay for the other fun stuff. So we will pick back up with you guys walking through Silicon Valley, approaching the docks. Is there any conversations you wish to have? Anything last preparations you want to do before you get to the ship? I know conversation had already started about talking to and interrogating some of the crew members to make sure that they're on the up and up, not part of any.
That part is what we're going to be talking about. I would imagine.
Yes, that part.
That part, yes.
So we will pick back up. You moving through the streets. Probably you have about an hour of walking and getting last minute preparation things and getting to the docks where your ship is actually being loaded currently. So we will pick back up there with your whatever conversations you want to have.
Vinta, you were talking about. I know you had mentioned earlier about vetting crew. How do you plan on doing that efficiently?
It depends on how many crew there are.
DM, you told us last time, or was it like 14 or something like that? I thought I wrote it down. Hold on. I guess I didn't. My bad.
For a mid-sized vessel of this size, you're probably looking at about 10, give or take.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, so my plan was Zone of Truth. Ask a few questions. Check for any tattoos.
Did Andy help you with the nature of the contract for these workers?
I don't know. I never talked to DM about it. It's assumed, yeah. I had spoken to Andy about that.
Yep, it is. Yeah, you worked with the Dranis to work out the contractual obligations of the crew, how they would be compensated through the Warsaw estate, and things of that nature. So,
yeah, Andy and I handle the contracts.
Well, it's the truth, and I guess we'll just have at them then.
DM, if they fail, or if they make the save, could I make them exit and re-enter the zone until
they just stay in it? They keep making it.
Okay.
Until they fail. Yep. So eventually they'll fail, no matter who they are, basically.
And also, it's up to you. You can, how you want to approach it from your spell's perspective, and you would know this, Vinteth, because it's your spell. Creatures can choose to fail the save if they know that this is what's being affected on them. If it's something that they are unaware of, their brains will naturally try to defend against it.
Gotcha.
So it depends on if you want to let them know, hey, I'm doing this, succumb to this, and let we can have an honest conversation. And it's up to them if they would like to then just choose to fail the save.
Yeah, if you lie to me, you're fucking dead. So.
I would like to help the investigations.
Oh God!
Are you going to stand there menacingly, Seven?
Yeah.
I love it.
I'll help out as well, just to read people's body expressions and facial expressions.
I think we should all be there. They should all understand what the nature of this arrangement is if they fuck around.
We'll just be in a circle and they'll be in the middle while we ask questions. How's that sound?
A circle of truth.
They lie, I can eat them. They'll threaten to eat them.
I would say. I'd read that contract before you get eating anyone.
Okay, threaten to eat them.
There you
go. Oh, by the way, Robbie's been tough. Spirit
yes.
Guardians, False Life, Chromatic Orb.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Are we loading those into the ring today, or was that previous?
That was the prior day.
Night
Okay.
before. Yeah. All right. As you all finish up your conversations about how to approach the crew, you find yourself once again in the air docks of Silicon Valley. It's midday. At this point, you see very few ships currently docked. You assume several are off on either deliveries or just not a lot of traffic going through the port today. But Adronis, you see, enters. He meets with the dockmaster. You see, he has a brief exchange. Eventually, he looks back at all of you and ushers you forward. You make your way further down the air docks to a not quite as large as the ship that you arrived on, but certainly in by no means small aircraft. This is a well-built, armored ship made, and you can see from the sides of stone and metal, less wooden than the cruiser that you guys took to get here, the giant, almost sea yacht that you originally arrived on. Decked out with certain platings and, again, sleeker, but still a larger than the vessel of a Captain Schmidt Torrens. You see across the side in a beautiful cursive font, brilliant against kind of the sandstone side piece that's that you can see, a beautifully encarved kind of and then painted over seven deadly sins spewed across the side.
Nice.
You can see as you approach that there are, in fact, three masts. Sorry, is it 3 or 2 on this bad boy? This might be 2. Sorry. Nope, not that one. Ah, 2 masts.
I'm gonna need full blueprints of this area.
Those can be found inside. But you see the gangplank, you see crates and barrels being loaded upon it. It looks like, for the most part, based on the materials you see on the dock itself, the ship had arrived probably within the last hour or so. It has already been quickly restocked, and you can just see the last bits of materials that had been requested, including, you can see, Saishori, 2 crates of very particular perfume being loaded onto the ship. Adronis turns to all of you. Well, I believe this, for the moment, I won't say the term calls us even, but I believe for our original contract, this is everything and more than well, I owe you so much more, but this is at least contractually what I was obligated to provide.
Our contract is concluded, Adronis, and for that we thank you. We'll continue to be in touch, of course.
Of course. Like I said, I have research to do. You've left me with plenty of threads I need to tug at, and I will be in touch as soon as I can with any information I have. And if you gain anything on your travels, I know you have other things to accomplish of your own time, and but if you come across anything that you need me to look into, and I will make sure to make it a priority. Most of my affairs at this point have already been honestly, most of the things I was preparing for were things of contacting Villiers if I was to leave before he returned. So, um, I will be spending what moments I have left here doing what I can to assist you with, well, assisting my family. But it's yours. Look, this ship is 100% yours. You can go ahead and make your way on deck. The
Can-
crew should be fully paid for, whatever arrangements they have made.
Andy, I don't mean to be crass, but
Yes.
and of course we'll try to avoid this, obviously. But if one or more of the crew were to meet an unfortunate end, um, what happens under those circumstances?
Well, Vinteth and I were very thorough with our contract negotiations. Depending on the means of their untimely demise, if it is through no fault of, if it is part of just normal wear and tear, normal, unexpected circumstances, which, from what Vinteth told me, is a possibility. We didn't make them. They are aware of what dangers may or may
Normal
not
wear
be.
and tear. Is that a common phrasing for what we're describing around here, Andy?
I mean, things happen on ships all the time. You not
Yeah.
paying
Oh,
attention, you
yeah, it's just
fall off a
accidents.
ledge. Accidents, yes. Yes. If it's a
Right.
normal, if it's normal accidental behavior, or again something where pirates, air pirates looting and monster attacks, which are again not unheard of, which is why he points up at you can see kind of just the edge of two like ballista kind of hanging off one side of the ship. Uh, they are understanding of possible dangers, and that's why their fare was negotiated the way it was. Um, Most of them were given the option for full upfront payment for the year or a stipend that then goes, if in the case of their untimely demise, would be sent to a next of kin or family member, which they have filled out the paperwork to where that would go. If their demise is of their own um, mutinous decisions or going against the orders of captain or in this case owners, which would be you lot. Um, Again, there's stipulations to the forfeiture of payment and things of that sort.
Right. Under either set of circumstances, are
Try
we
not to
able?
kill them for no reason.
No, and we would never do such a thing. But
Not for no reason.
there's a no reason. But uh, in either circumstance, would we be able to work out an arrangement for replacement crew, especially if they are essential personnel?
So in that situation, please contact me, and I will. I can, depending on the circumstances, either replace or at least get you in touch with potential replacements. Any additional crew to what is currently being paid for would be on outside of the original stipulation of the contract, so therefore you would have to probably pay for them on the fly, but you might be able to pay for them for a month or two, and then once you get back here, I can re-stipend them into the yearly contracting. It's mostly just the paperwork aspect of things. Um, so if you
Yeah.
find yourself in a pitch, hire who you can for as short a period of time as you can. Send word to me, and I will drop the paperwork to have them appropriately compensated for their time.
I appreciate that, Andy. I didn't mean to get us bogged down in the paperwork. It was more just, pragmatic concerns of what if it happens and if we should just worry about it ourselves. So,
Of course. Again, in a pinch situation, feel free to throw whatever money you need to around, but don't feel like you're obligated to offer full year contracts. If most of these, most crewmen will take month gig or pay by the job. If you say we have a 3 months expedition, um, pay them for that time. But For the crew that's on here, they are being paid for the full year, so they are yours to deal with as you will. As Vinteth knows, there are stipulations of failure to meet certain expectations of the job title. That if you all feel and the captain feels that they have not met their expectations of what they are supposed to do upon your vessel, you may feel free to ask them to leave early, in which case we would pay them a stipend, and you may then replace them as you need.
Just throw them overboard.
Preferably leave them in a town.
Hey, that's your son.
Again, I do not intend to tell you what to do with mutineers or any other unsavory types that might cause you harm or discomfort, but
Oh, trust me, they'll be made an example of.
We're not going to have to worry about any of that because we're going to interrogate them first, and then everything's going to be fun.
well, if you don't need anything else from me, I leave this in your very capable hands. It was a pleasure working and adventuring with all of you. I have much to do on my end, and good luck. Again, I appreciate everything you've done for Once at Fillier and my family.
Much appreciated, Father. And I kind of stick out my hand. Huh. Weird. This is the first time we actually kind of did business together, isn't it?
He chuckles, and he'll grab your hand and shake it firmly as if he was concluding a business deal. And as he releases your hand to conclude business, he does bring you in for a hug. If you would like to start taking a look aboard and meeting some of the crew, if you just give me a minute, I would like to talk to Valia for just a moment.
All right.
No problem.
Sure.
I'll start.
Okay.
I'll say yeah, but I'm gonna sneak off to talk to Vanessa.
She didn't come.
Oh, she didn't come at all. Oh,
There's,
who's Vanessa?
No, there's no Vanessa here.
No, there's no Vanessa here.
I said Vanessa, isn't?
BS.
No,
Yes.
At least he's
Fucking-
doing it to us and not
I
to her.
fucking hate names so much.
There's no N. It's VS.
Dude, I'm legally changing my name to like the number 8.
I thought you were gonna. I thought in honor of this campaign, it was gonna be like S. You know, with just all the fucking
All the apostrophes
apostrophes
and
in there.
He's O apostrophe Cho, dude. Ocho?
Yeah. But Viesa did not accompany you to the docks. She said her goodbyes this morning at breakfast when she planted one on you. What was it?
You had to.
Fair enough.
Your romantic goodbye.
Clocked by almost everybody, but it's fine.
Not even seeing her man off at the game plank, dude. Wow.
She was busy. It's fine.
Nah,
He
man.
has a lot more thread to go through.
Buddhist man.
But as the rest of you start to make your way onto the ship through the gangplank onto the main deck, Adronis pulls Valir aside. Well, this is certainly a far different goodbye than the last time you left. You did not leave. This is far different than the last time I sent you away.
Yeah. Different circumstances. I'm leaving at my own will. You know, doing missions, traveling around, seeing things. Definitely different terms this time around.
Whether it was the monastery or the world or your friends, or combination thereof. I'm proud of the person you've become and are continuing to become. You still have a very long life ahead of you, and I'm sure you will continue to grow and develop as you see fit. And I'm slowly realizing that while I had a very, very small part to play in it early on, based on my selfish and overprotective decisions, I'm happy that you have figured out how to be you on your own.
Uh, sort of. You know, I mean, I was kind of aimless when I left the monastery. I didn't know where to go. Still have no idea. I mean, I know where I'm going, but I don't know where I'm heading as a person. It's just been hard to see where I fit in, I guess you could say. It was definitely very defeating knowing that some sloppy drunkard, even he had a purpose. He was working for the broker. And it just infuriated me seeing someone so. I just don't even know how to describe it. It's just. I'll spare you the details of how he looked. The point is, twice liking that is his name. It was just very. It hurt me a little bit. It hurt my ego a little bit seeing someone like him being able to have purpose in life. And yeah, it's just. Hopefully, I get there. But who knows where it's gonna lead me? Who knows? Maybe I'll come back with a grandchild for you. I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm heading for all this, but wherever it takes me, I hope to bring pride and honor to the Warsnock name.
I'm sure you will, Valia. And honestly, not being fully aware of when I was your age of just how long an elven lifespan would be. Because we didn't know. We knew we lived longer, obviously. I was in my early hundreds when many of the humans I had known died of old age around me. So I knew we knew we had extended lifespans, but we didn't quite know how long it was.
Right.
The fact that I made a foolish deal for 300 years of my life when I could have apparently done far more. Uh, what I'm saying is, I I envy some of the other races, humans, some beast folk, most non elves, even half elves, honestly. When you're around for a shorter period of time, there's a certain urgency to find where you belong, find what you are here to do, and do it with vigor every step of the way. We can live several of their lifetimes. We have the opportunities to make mistakes. We have the opportunities to change ourselves. Just in the brief conversations I had with your friend Revi, he is still young as far as elven society is concerned. As far as I'm concerned, he's lived 4 different professions. He's been a soldier, tinkerer, an adventurer. It's the it's the gift and curse of elves. We have time. I think the moral of the story is don't grow complacent with it, like I have. I expected my money to last me forever, to not worry about a fate that was possibly never coming. Make mistakes. Be reckless. You'll find your path in this world, and you'll possibly live it for years, tens of years. And then maybe eventually you'll grow out of it and want to try something else. That's the luxury of being an elf. You can do many things.
Do have a point. We do outlive a number of races out here. Does give me some leeway to be a little reckless, make mistakes here and there. I'll definitely keep that in mind. Just take some chances, do things maybe opposite of what I would do normally. See where that takes me.
Try some things. But I've made more than my share of mistakes over the last several centuries. And while several of those mistakes are how I pushed and cared for your sister and you, my only hope and desire is that with the many, many years you both have left, you'll do better than me.
I mean, it's kind of hard to top building the whole town, from the ground up. Hopefully, we could match that somehow. I mean, I'm sure Viesa is going to be able to. Like, she has tons of great idea, and I mean, when she was in the Spider Queen's lair, she was already making new designs and everything with like the premium webbing and everything. It's just I know she's gonna make it hard for sure. She's she's definitely the golden child. Um, which, by the way, I never bother asking or we never talked about it, but it is odd that you were able to have what is it like 4 different children. Elves, we usually just barely give out one. How in the world were you able to do that 4 times? Well, technically 3, but
Mm. um. So again, possibly, I didn't realize how rare what I had done was until several centuries later. When I was, you know, in my early hundreds. It's not that people weren't trying to have multiple births, but it was more so uh, the older generations didn't know how much time we had, so they were functioning more like human societies, where having single child families was acceptable and kind of the norm. Um, and again, dangerous times when the older generations were growing up, so it's hard to say when, you know, unexpected childbirths were lost to
hmm,
just the elements and things of that nature. Um, it wasn't until a few hundred years later that I realized that it was brought to my attention that what I had done was so out of the norm for elves. Originally, I chalked it up to, well, my first partner was human, and they are a fertile breed. It's hard to say what my coupling with Corpia was going to rot, as um, Spider and all.
right?
So that could have been divine will, I suppose, if we want to go that route of it. And then, honestly, like I said, I didn't expect to have any children when I was with your mother, but that was a pleasant surprise that then turned into two surprises, which became even more astonishing.
Okay. Well, I guess. Has he been lucky? He's been blessed, I guess you could say.
Well, like I said, if it all led to you and your sister, then I wouldn't change a thing of it.
Happy to hear that. Definitely happy that I've been able to prove myself to you that I've changed as a person since I first left home. Well, since you first sent me away from home. Uh, it's just been rough, but it's nice to kind of have a clear head now and sort through things that you know I just been thinking and all. But it's definitely I'm just happy to know that I could just come back home and make home feel like home when needed.
Well, you should always know that you are more than welcome here. That this was never meant to be. It was never meant to be an exile. It was meant to be a whipping into shape, which clearly you did not need. Or maybe you grew past what even they could do and you let the world shape you, I suppose.
Right. But I appreciate you being proud of me, seeing the change in me and all. Hopefully I can keep growing like I said. On a side note though, and I kind of look around to see if anybody's listening or not. And he's kind of leaning into my father, just like, so I I know it's been a lot going around, um, but I was talking to mother the other day, and she kind of told me not to trust Suji. I don't know what you know about his family or where he comes from, but yeah, I do that as you may. I told VSO already, and I know Mother has her biases and all, but she has a pretty good gut feeling when it comes to trusting people. Just putting it out there. Don't know if anybody else has said anything to you, but just keep it between the family here. He doesn't need to know that. I guess we're kind of looking into his background per se. But either way, considering that I'm going to be traveling with him, uh, I just need any heads up if you find anything on him.
Huh. Your mother certainly does have a nose for things. I didn't notice anything in particularly. Well, you see, he kind of looks around just like you did. I mean, I don't feel anything malice from him. He did ask me for permission for Viessa's hand before we went to rescue her, which was, I guess it was permission to date. It was very oddly worded. Um,
I'm sorry,
I,
what?
wa- I wasn't promising your sister to marry him, but I guess he was asking for permission to date her if she wanted to. He worded it very poorly, is all I can tell you. But that did happen before you had been in town for a day. I'm assuming that's from the first time they met, but that was a conversation that he and I had when we were negotiating terms of the contract to go rescue your sister.
So you're telling me this is part of his contract with you?
That I would allow him to date your sister if she chose to. I believe so. Yes.
Does it specifically say date?
He asked for her hand, and I said I could not promise that, as it was not mine to give. But he basically said yes, he would like to court your sister if she was into it. I believe that's the term he used.
Well, I don't even know what to say to that. VS had never said anything to me about it. I mean, I know she said she's took interest in him, like she found him interesting, but that's about it. Okay. Well, I'm happy I told you what Mother said about him to be a little bit worried about him.
I mean, that definitely gives me more of a
Gosh.
reason to look into who he is. If your mother said she's concerned, that is well, once she starts talking to me again, I think I can ask her about that.
Oh, right, yes. Sorry, that whole thing just went out my mind that she is not
Oh,
really
it's
talking to you.
maybe no, I should not ask Fiesta to ask her. That just seems like it would get very
Yeah,
much in the
no,
way of
it's
things.
yes.
I will smooth things out as much as I can with your mother, and then for the sake of you and your sister, I will then approach her about why she was feeling on edge about Suji, and then I can look into that separately. But yes, I should not engage your sister about why her future, I don't even know what to call it anymore. It could be. Yes. Very good. Understood. I know, you know, we're both looking out. We're both going
Mhm.
to do research. I will let you know if I find anything.
Great. Much appreciated. Uh, hopefully, yeah, hopefully it's not too serious. I don't know.
I mean, he
I don't
seems
know.
like a lovely young man. I don't. What possible um, ill tidings he could have.
I don't know. I'm not sure. He almost died twice. I don't know. That's all I have. I honestly don't know.
Oh, all right. Oh, I will. I will certainly add that on to the list of things I will look into. And do you have any other information about Suji? Anything I can kind of?
Uh, currently, I know he's mentioned a few things here and there, but I'm kind of blanking on that information.
All right. Well, if you think
But
of anything, you know, parent's name, surname, where he's from, anything I can possibly look into, just send word. I will.
absolutely,
I will.
I will let you know for sure. Cause we have a name to uphold here.
Uh, hopefully, that name will hold for a little longer.
I'm sure it'll be fine. But yeah, that's all I got on my end. Um, with everything that we've told you as a party, as a group, please, any information of foreign Senegal, of whatever. My gosh, I don't even know where to start. You know the information. Anything else you
I
find, please tell
I
us.
I have a laundry list of things I need to start looking into, and I will be working on that pretty much for the rest of the few months I have left. So,
Absolutely, but take some time. Take some time to really smooth things out with Mother.
yes, I suppose I shall. I shouldn't keep you any longer. Your friends are. Hopefully, Seven's not dangling anybody over the side of a ship.
Uh, Hopefully not yet. We told him not the crew people, but he does his own thing sometimes, so we'll see.
That's fair. But until I see you again, good
Of
luck.
course.
Stay in touch. And remember, you always have a home here in Silicon Valley.
Appreciate it. I'll visit soon. And just embrace him.
Give him a hug. Tell the rest of them I said goodbye, and same to them. Even if you all tend to go your separate ways at any point, they always have, for what they've done for the family, that they always have refuge here in Silicon Valley. They will always be friends of the Warsanox, unless you tell me otherwise. In which case, then they're dead to all of us.
Of course, absolutely. Also, one last thing. Check out this new what was it? Was it like a what did VSMA be exactly? What was it like
It's like an overcloak. It's kind of like a tunic
overcloak?
thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Check out what VSMA. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Takes a look at it. Absolutely remarkable. We see, kind of looks at it closely. It's like, did I'm sorry. It's been a while since I looked at something like that. Did she sew fire resistance into a cloak?
Essentially, yeah, she did. She said I should be good against fire, which has been I didn't know that was possible, but hey, she's always been creative.
I mean, without magically enchanting, that's his absolutely incredible work.
Yeah, I told her any updates of this tunic or anything, just keep it coming, send it my way.
I certainly think I have things to talk with your sister about. Like,
Absolutely.
good luck, Philly.
Thank you. Good luck with any loose ends we need to take care of.
I'm going to need it. And he gives you a nod and turns off the deck and starts walking back towards the estate. Meanwhile,
Oh yeah. Sounds right.
the rest of you, as you walk across the gangplank onto your new airship.
We're never traveling by vessel again, Tickers.
This thing is
Thank you.
actually like we're off the ground. There's not skipping. It's not we're off the ground right now.
No
It's
more
fucking fantastic.
no more morning nausea or afternoon nausea or evening nausea.
There's like 3 floors on this thing. That means there's no sleeping above deck. I mean, we could if we wanted to. That was kind of cool once in a while, but you know.
Actual protection from the elements. What a concept.
But yeah, you all make it onto the main deck. So, in comparison to the vessel slash the larger kind of air yacht you had previously been on, the airship you are currently on, tip to back is about 80-ish feet long, about 30 to 40 feet wide at its widest point. It is a 3-story, so you have the main deck and 2 levels below. There is a elevated captain's quarters that rests kind of aloft on the back end of the first deck. There are 2 main masts that both have heavy sails, currently furled. As you are docked in the bay here, you do not see any visible arcane batteries or things that would inhibit flight, but similar to the air yacht you were previously on, you assume those are somewhere down below. To make it on deck, you see several elven hands that are currently still putting the last of the cargo that was on the docks onto your ship, bringing it down below. and storing it away. As you look side to side and you start to take in the, your surroundings, you can see on either side. You saw them two that were facing the dock, and now you can see one on the other side. Three welded to the first deck, heavy ballista, pointed off in different directions. At a glance, they look similar to the ones that were on the air yacht that you had, but slightly different. Require further investigation or explanation by whoever wields them to see what they do. But as the five of you make your way on board, you hear a voice ring out. Oi! You lot must be the new owners. Turning to look over at the, where the helm is, you see appearing a rather tall, foot, strong in build, teal-scaled dragonborn approaches and walks down the flight of stairs next to the helm.
Yes, that's us. You are.
It's a pleasure to meet you all. My name is Vince Sinclair. I'm the first mate aboard the Seven's Deadly Sins. Is it now? That's the name of the we're going with.
No,
Yes, that is.
that
the
is
name.
that is indeed the name we're going with.
that's my name.
Fantastic! I love it.
Well, I appreciate the enthusiasm. You said Vin Sinclair?
Vince Sinclair.
Vince.
Vince Sinclair.
I heard that as like one name with the apostrophe at first.
No, two names. He's a
Vin or Vincent.
he's a dragonborn. He's not an elf. Let him live.
Oh yeah, Vince. I like it.
Yep. Vince Sinclair, teal scaled dragonborn.
For my character personally, have I ever encountered a dragonborn?
Well, you're currently not here, so no.
Oh yeah, no, never mind. I forgot. I'm still walking up.
Yeah, you're finishing up your conversation with your dad. This was in the meantime.
Vince, I appreciate the enthusiasm. Respectfully, I'd like to save the pleasantries. I think everyone else here would too. We'd like to, for the moment at least, while we, just gather the crew and introduce ourselves.
Very good. Would you like to meet everybody on the deck, or would you like to go to the galley?
I kind of look around to everyone.
The deck.
The deck
Sure.
The deck?
Yes.
or the galley?
We have a galley.
But good ship doesn't have a galley.
I mean, yes, of course. We've definitely yes.
I vote galley.
Any ship would have any ship worth its salt would have one of those.
Yes, galley, mess hall, eating facilities. We were given very specific instructions of the make and design of the ship. Though they did change slightly towards the end there, but we made sure we could accompany it. Yes, you let me know where you want me to gather the crew, and I will make sure everybody is present. How's that sound?
In the galley.
Yes,
Galley it is.
I agree.
Ugh,
Because
fine.
we have one. Because of course we have. Why wouldn't we?
Very good. I will gather everybody, and most of these are dock hands. They're not part of the crew, so don't worry about them. Let them finish loading up the ship, and I will gather everyone below, and we'll meet in, let's call it a solid 10.
All right.
Sounds good.
Perfect.
Wonderful. I'll see you all down below. You see he scurries off to head below deck to gather the rest of your crew.
He was scaly.
So,
Oh yeah, DM, have I ever seen it? I guess I'm gonna ask the same question. Have I ever seen a dragonborn before?
Have any of us?
Yeah.
Um,
How rare
I
they
would
are in this world. Huh?
I would say Revi and Suji have definitely had interactions with Dragonborn before. Between the
Okay.
Mage's School and Suji, you with between your family and visitors, I would say you two have definitely had minor interactions with different Dragonborn over
Okay.
your years.
So assuming I'm good
is
then.
there a
I'll
chance
just
7 could have met Dragonborns?
Not that you remember.
Yeah.
Uh,
7 hasn't been impressed with anyone's appearance, really, except for the ones as tall as he has been.
they're all small to you.
Yeah.
Nope.
He's walking metal, rock, roots. It's not surprising. There's things different than 7.
Yep.
It's words.
I will say the two Suji and Revi can give me either history or nature checks.
Did he walk off already?
He did, yeah. He left you all on the deck. He went below to start gathering the crew.
Was that a human and a person and a dragon? Dragon person?
I really hope we're not going to have a conversation about more racism in this group. I'm a bit concerned right now. We've all dealt with the humans and their comments. Let's try to be a bit better, more elevated, shall we?
I will say, as you have this conversation a little bit, and I would say Suji, Dragonborn is Dragonborn. You've met a couple over the course of your life. You really never like gave them much mind or research. Revi, you're again because of the mage school and the fact that Dragonborn and dragons in general are very entwined to magic. You know a little bit more about them and about kind of like where they came from and how they came to world. Um, most of the stories you heard of, the different colored dragons, the chromatics, the metallics, the gem dragons, these like special offshoot dragons, um, very much talks about like Dragonborn very much taking on the looks of their ancestors.
Mhm.
Chromatics being black, white, blue, green, black, white, blue, green, red. Wow, I forgot red. That's weird. I forgot the red dragon. Yes, the most iconic dragon. Um, metallics, gold, silver, brass, bronze, copper. The gem dragons of topaz, crystal, sapphire, emerald, and
Amethyst, right?
amethyst. This dragon is very odd to you. This dragonborn came
Teal.
out with teal scale.
Okay, that's
Like
what I was
very
thinking because I was gonna
very
clarify
definitively
that, but
different.
actually,
Very definitively different. Like does not match what you know about what is Dragonborn.
Okay, so I'm gonna break down that info to the group, just
Yep.
to run through the whole lot of the Dragonborns with everybody who's here at the
Yep.
moment. And then
Feel
just
free to
say
riff. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick.
Yep. So skipping to that point, I'm gonna say, so this is a roundabout way of saying I don't know what the hell that guy is, and that's the only thing that bothers me. And I don't know if it's gonna be weird, but I feel like I have to ask him.
Oh yeah, I think he's the captain.
No, he's the first
Just
mate.
the-
We're the captains.
I'm the captain.
Yes, Simon, you are the captain.
captain.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are one of the captains.
Yes.
You
My
are a
name's on the
captain.
ship.
But yes, so I feel like I have to ask him, and that might be offensive, but I need to know.
Oh.
And
Please word it carefully.
I will.
Place of
I'll-
curiosity, not racism.
Yes, I will do my best.
I think it's fine. He
I
seemed
just,
friendly.
but he seemed very enthusiastic to be a part of the journey. I just would like to understand. I mean, maybe there's some something we could learn from him.
Maybe he can become the seventh sin.
Maybe.
Ask him if he plays an instrument.
you really want a bard on this team, don't you, Seven?
Yeah. They have a lute.
Well, not all of them will have a lute.
They
So
have
you
an instrument.
specifically want a bard who plays the lute
Or the flute.
or the
rhyme.
flute. Yeah, I figured that was why you picked that one.
You can hire one at this point.
Yes, if you just want, we could hire a bard. Do
Yeah.
you want songs written
About me?
us?
Yes.
All right, well, next city, we're going to look into hiring a bard.
Yes.
About this time, Valir, you walk up.
Bard?
We're,
Wait,
we're
hold
we need songs.
No, I
Sure.
get that. How does Seven know about bards and instruments?
You'd be surprised with what I do and don't know.
Combination of people teaching him. Who's to say what he's been wandering off and doing in your gigantic mansion?
I'm sure you've
There's
seen
books.
a bard or two in a market here.
I've
There's
been
books.
talking to Zoth an awful lot.
I have rung out of things to tell him.
Ah,
That's fair.
that's true. A lot of Zothamites.
Well, how are you guys liking the airship? What did I miss?
Nothing.
Airship's fantastic. There's a dragonborn whose color does not appear in the history books, and I'm going to ask him about it.
I'm sorry, what?
He's our first mate. So.
Dragonborn.
His name's
Now,
Vince.
DM, have I encountered Dragonborn ever in my life? Now that I'm here.
You met one. There was a dragonborn at the monastery where you trained.
What color
I'm
was he?
assuming. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask.
Copper.
Racism.
Copper. Okay.
No.
Yeah, he falls within the spectrum.
I fall in the
Hey.
spectrum.
No, it's not. Oh no.
Oh, Dragonborn. That's cool. Haven't seen one since I was in the monastery. That's cool. And what do you mean different color, Ravi?
He's I guess teal would be how I describe it. He's not a standard color in any of the ones I've met, the history books I've read, the nature of their magic and connection to their people. I've never heard of him.
Huh.
But on a more pressing note, he's gathering the crew. We're meeting shortly in the galley. Yeah, galley. To question them before we get.
Oh. Sounds good. Definitely need make sure this crew's trustworthy. We don't want no incidences again, like the last time we were at the airship, getting ambushed like that. That was terrible.
Airship.
No war crimes.
That anchor is so large. Seven wants it.
It is quite large.
Yeah.
Wait, are we on a map?
Or a map.
Yeah.
We're on a map.
Or on a map, and it's going fast, and
We're gonna go patch me after.
we're on an airboat, motherfucker. I have to add the third ballista because I was not prepared for you guys to upgrade, but
Upgrade.
Upgrades.
we'll add it later.
We
But yeah.
made the tactical decision. Spent some money for some weapons.
Yeah. So
Probably.
looking at the map here, just to give you a basic idea. So this is the first deck of your airship. There is a railing around the side. Gangplank attaches to the right side over here. There are 2 staircases that leads up to the helm. There is a captain's quarters, which door is here in the center.
Hmm.
To the right and left of the captain's corner, there are staircases heading down to the below deck.
Cool.
Currently, what you see is the thatched cargo hold that is open, that is currently having cargo lowered down into it. So you, Suji, should not be there, or you're going to fall to your death.
Let him fall.
Not already, Suji. We haven't even left the port yet.
I become an eagle and start flying.
Good to know. Andy, while he is taking care of a lot of a year's worth of expenses, has not paid for workman's comp.
Hey. Yeah.
Smart man.
Did they pack my money?
Yes. Andy would have your whatever money you want to transfer to the
we
cargo.
got a cargo hold. Cargo hold.
But yeah, you have the deck to yourselves, other than a couple of elven duck hands that are currently just loading up the last bits of your goods onto the ship. But you can either stay on deck if you have any other things to discuss, or head below to the galley to meet with the crew.
Let's go. Let's not keep the crew waiting.
What do we want to
long.
ask them before we start this process? I want to look
If they
like we
start
have
a
our shit
mu-
together.
Well, then, if they start a mutiny or betray us or leak our locations to people they should not have, I will eat them.
Do we really want to start
Okay.
on that note with them, Seven? You standing there is going to be an implicit threat of violence anyway. We don't need
I
to
would
say
know
it.
what we had if we had a bard.
When did you even meet a bard? 7?
Don't ask me. Zoth told me about these things.
What have you been telling him, Zoth?
I told him about the great bards.
Did you sing him songs, or did you just tell him that the bards exist?
I just told them they exist. I don't sing.
That does not surprise me.
Seven, did he sing to you?
No.
Okay, maybe once I did that. That was about as far as I got. Okay.
Never sang to me.
I did a long time ago.
You forgot.
Maybe if you
about
brought him along once in a while. Always leaving him behind.
I prefer not to die like Cat.
Hey, Takers has a very important job, and he treasures that job.
To
Don't
die
you?
like science experiment.
No.
He did. I ate
Several times.
Well,
Yeah.
it was in the pursuit of knowledge. Always
I-
a worthwhile endeavor.
I have played Lookout many times, have not died. I have also pursued knowledge and found it without death.
Yeah, well, I cast a spell through Tinkers. Bet you haven't done that.
I have inflicted wounds.
You-
He shows his teeth.
Right, why am I arguing with your familiar? Let's go.
Two Zoth are acting. I'm like, yeah, show him.
He does not talk to me often, so when I do, I dunk on him.
Oh.
Almost spit out my water.
Fucking
Holy shit.
Zoth.
Zoth does not talk often, but when he does, he gets a reaction.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah.
That's familiar. All right, so what are we asking these guys specifically?
I thought you had a question.
I have a couple, but if there's
this
any
was
more,
your plan.
I'm group consensus. I am going to be asking them, do they have any affiliation with Sornlin or Death's Embrace? I'm covering my bases. What else do we want to ask?
If they treat me like an object, that will not end well for them.
That
That is statement.
that's not a question.
You could just tell them that, Seven. We don't need the zone of truth.
How did they find out about this job? Who vetted them?
Maybe where each of them is originally from.
Yep.
Could be useful to know.
Name, rank, serial number, date of birth, blood type.
Let's not make them think we're killers. I mean, you know what I mean.
Well,
I mean, it's for science, right?
Not that. What? No, I don't need the.
It's
blood
relevant
types.
to medical history, you know, in case they get injured in the line of duty. I'm joking, obviously.
Yes, I know.
Seriously, anything else we want to ask them? Where they're from? Do they have any associations with things that we don't want to be associated with?
Yeah, if any of them has any intent to, I think very simply, if any of them has any intent to harm us directly or indirectly, or assist those who would harm us directly or indirectly,
and which
cover
language
our
they
bases.
speak?
I would hope they
again-
all speak common.
No, but
Well,
other
this-
than that,
Useful not. We could probably just ask them that, but yes,
Yes.
useful to know.
I mean, that is useful to know in case we want to speak
Mm.
to each other in Flash Real 7.
or they can teach me their languages because we're going to be with them for a year. I
You
think I
know,
can learn
we
more.
should ask them at Zaishori, if this is okay with you, we should ask them if any of them have any inherent biases towards tieflings. Probably useful to just get that one out of the way, but maybe you'd prefer not to know.
Do they have any biases towards, you said demons?
Towards tieflings.
Same thing.
Oh.
So-
You're canceled.
Who said that?
You believe this guy on the internet just straight up hates demons?
Yeah. How dare he? So, again, Zaishori, I think it's a useful question, but that one's up to you.
Don't leave it up to me. I don't care
But
whether
you
they have
don't.
biases or not.
Okay, so then, if you really don't care, I won't ask them. I just
And there's more more elves than tieflings. What if they hate elves? What if the
That-
Dragonborn wants to eat elves?
you know, fine. We'll ask them if they have any. We'll just cover all of our bases there. Elves, tieflings.
Me.
We'll just ask them. Yeah, 7. Do you have any biases towards 7 like creatures? There you go. I'm good with all of them.
Does his presence intimidate you? We
Well,
know
if
if
it
you're
doesn't-
lying.
So you want to give him a nice little ego boost while we're in there?
Gives him something to do other than stand
Yeah.
there scarily.
That's
I could
fair.
I want to
range.
watch their reactions.
Okay, everyone ready?
Yes.
Get
Yeah.
started.
Oh, yeah, Ruby.
The galley.
Do the guy.
DM, I want to keep a sharp eye on them.
All right. As you make your way below deck, you go down the quick flight of staircase. What you see before you is pretty simple. There are several dining tables with sorted chairs. There is off to the side kind of a small kitchenette that seems to be not yet in use, but you can see a lot of the supplies are sitting there and getting ready for whatever meal prep that needs to be happening. Towards the back end of the ship, you can see another staircase that leads to a floor below, as well as 2 large storage pantries that are currently being loaded with different barrels and crates currently. Sitting at the tables, you see 10 individuals, as well as our first mate, Vince Sinclair, our teal-scaled dragonborn. You see before you. The people that stand out to you, you see about 5 foot, maybe 5.5 foot, tiger striped tabaxi woman, wearing a fine coat and sword on her hip, sitting at one of the tables having a drink, sitting next to Vince Sinclair. Next to them, you see a kind of lanky, also furrin in form, but wearing kind of loose clothing. You can see kind of pouches on their hip. The best you can describe it, it's something that looks more humanoid, but similar to forms you've seen Suji take before. He has kind of like a recessed, like monkey-like face, but still more humanoid in like their shape. Over by where you see the kitchen is, you see somebody is taking inventory. Large greenish blue scaled face with a thick hide-like shell on their back with an apron wrapped around them. You see a turtle that's currently counting out different items and things that are going into the kitchen. Sitting at one of the other far tables, kind of looking up through the porthole where the different cargo is coming through, you see a feathered individual. He kind of looks hawkish in nose, feather crown along his head. He has a trench coat on with a rapier on one hip and to Suji, a familiar looking kind of metal tube like structure on his other side. Sitting at a table beyond them, you see two other folk that are kind of sitting timidly. One of which is a green scale, but like not quite dragonborn in snout, kind of like a shorter snout, raised nostrils, lizard-like humanoid. And sitting at the table with them, you can see hood slightly up, face kind of down, holding like what appears to either be a water skin or something. But just under the hood, you can see a single floppy bunny ear just kind of hanging off to the side.
It's a lot of beefskin.
Yeah.
We got the whole lot of
The whole fucking menagerie over here, dude.
Diversity.
No, this is great. This is gonna be talk about it. The best way to not forget who the crew are.
Yeah,
The
who's the
cat.
first man again? The teal dragon guy. Who's the kitchen guy? The fucking turtle.
I feel like we should remember names though. That's not gonna be the best way to do this.
A turtle made it to the water.
I mean, you guys asked Andy for diversity.
Vinteth walks around. Hey, turtle, what are you making?
But
I
as
whisper
the
to Vinteth real quick. I feel like Andy is really into animals.
I just give him a
no.
knowing smile and chuckle.
But as
man.
as you all approach the galley, you see the couple of tables there. You see Vince, who's kind of sitting at a table, leaning over, talking to the tiger furred tabaxi woman. Kind of looks up at all of you, stands up abruptly. It's like, hello, welcome. This is the crew. I made sure we gathered everybody here for you. He kind of turns and looks at the group. These are the new owners of the Seven Deadly Sin vessel that we will be sailing on for the next year. They just wanted to make sure they had a chance to meet all of us and have a quick conversation before we made our way to our next destination, which I'm sure they're going to tell us about right now. So let's go ahead and give them the floor. You see, he takes a seat.
I look towards Venta.
I look towards.
Greetings. Pleasure to meet you all. I'm Vinteth. Let's go down the line. This is... Introduce yourselves.
I'm 7.
Robbie.
Zaituri.
Perfect.
We're synchronized.
Classic.
I hit my gong. Voldy Warlock. I think that's everybody.
Pyra.
Ira.
Pyra is standing there. Yeah.
Yeah, Pyra. Can't forget Pyra. We just wanted to have a small get-together and introduce ourselves. And if it's alright with all of you, I'm going to cast a spell and ask you all a few questions, just get to know each other a little bit. Everybody alright with that?
And what kind of spell will we be casting?
One that
What?
makes you tell the truth.
We're gonna have a very honest conversation. I don't love starting on this note, but we've had a weird path getting here, and I'm sure there will be some interesting circumstances to come. So this will be no big deal in comparison.
In
We
our
won't
line
be
of work,
asking any. I'll jump in real quick.
fuck you.
We won't be asking any questions that are too personal. It's basically about our safety, your safety, rest of the crew's safety, various stuff like that.
Yeah, in our line of work, there needs to be a baseline of trust. We are going to protect you. You're going to be working for us. We just want to make sure that everything's chill, you know?
Completely understandable. However, I do ask a caveat.
God.
10 about being fair play and all. I would like one of you, doesn't matter which, to acquiesce to the same condition. As you can see, my crew is not exactly accepted everywhere we go, and therefore we are very cautious about who we take on and what jobs we do. I just ask that one of you, and whichever speaks for you, and she kind of points at Vinteth, you seem very forthcoming with information and asking questions. One of you acquiesce to one of ours doing a similar bit of magic. Just to be cautious.
I
is
struggle
the
with the group, like, sure.
This is the tiger for Tabaxi speaking.
I just kind of looked at everyone. We're with them for a year, right?
Yeah, wouldn't hurt.
I mean, I don't have anything to hide, do you?
Me.
No.
As long as it's the same thing of just truth about safety, that's all that matters.
Of course, just general questions for who we will be taking orders from for the next year. But we will feel free to answer your questions first, and if you find any of our answers unsatisfactory, we can go ahead and cancel the contract as is.
Sounds good to me. Any objections? You all agree?
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
Very fair.
Wonderful. Well, tell us where you need us to be, and we'll acquiesce to your questions.
I'm gonna go to like the center table. Just gather around.
You watch as the 7 individuals currently present start to make their way towards the table. You watch as the lizard folk gentleman hesitates for a second, and then kind of looks at the looks at the Tabaxi woman, and then looks at you. Um, what is it, Jay? You can speak freely here. Do we need to call the others from downstairs? You see the Tabaxi woman kind of looks at you. Do you require? And she kind of takes a second to assess the situation. Do you require automatons to sit in on a little conversation?
That is a good question.
Automatons.
I'm gonna
How
say
about
yes.
that? How about
Yes.
that? Huh?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. How many automatons do we have? Below decks?
3.
Yeah, some of them.
Go ahead, Jay. Go fetch them. right, yes.
Wow, interesting.
You watch as the lizard folk gentleman walks below deck. A few moments later, he returns with two. None of them are quite seven size. They are not gargantuan, hulking automatons, but two of them are definitely more humanoid in their form. Um, probably somewhere, around the almost 6 foot range, looking more again human in their actions and their movements. They're a little bit stiff. You can see that their actions are definitely more robotic in the way they move. But they follow him up the stairs. You can see that they are not like seven, and they are pure of any particular metal or material. They are patchwork. They are pulled together as they move behind him. And behind that, you see a much smaller, probably like 3 foot tall, rolling up on like a triangle wheel that kind of like hooks the steps and hits each step as it kind of rolls up. Automaton with two humanoid hands and a rounded face. All right, this should be everybody then.
All right, I just want to preface this with saying it's not going to be invasive. There are forces at work and jobs we're doing that you're going to learn about, but we might as well be forthcoming now. We just want to make sure that none of you are connected to any of that for our safety and yours.
Understood. And if any question gets too personal, my crew reserves the right to hold out. They will not respond. If you deem that as enough to ask them to terminate their contract, they are more than willing.
Understood.
That's fair.
All right, let's get this started. I'm going to go down the line. I'm going to ask one question, preferably yes or no answer. That's it. Nothing needs to get too in depth. First question. Are any of you associated with the Church of Sword and Lin in any capacity?
Well, that's the first question. Do you cast the spell?
Oh, yes. We're getting ahead of ourselves. I'll place my palms on the table and then cast on a truth.
There you go. You feel they all choose to fail.
Good. That would have been a problem.
To your first question, everyone answers no.
Good. Have any of you ever heard of or been associated with the Death's Embrace?
Everybody answers no. And it's telling the truth.
All right. Are any of you ever heard of or been associated with the followers of Tor?
Several of them answered that they've heard of Tor, because that was part of the question.
Mm-hmm.
But they all answered truthfully that they are not associated with any acts or Church of Tor.
Good. That's it for me for now.
I'll be quick. Do any of you have any intent to harm this ship, any member of this crew, or any member of this party, or associate with anyone who may have such an intent?
They all answered no.
Mm-hmm.
The tabaxi woman looks at you and I have no intent, and my crew has no intent of harming any of you. However, I will let you all know personally. If you were to do anything that would cause them harm beyond reasonable understanding, I would find it justifiable to cause harm upon you if that would stop it.
Reasonable and understandable. I think all of us here are trying to form a good working relationship with mutual respect and protection for one another.
Then we're on the same page.
Just for my own personal knowledge, you can send me this later. I would ask them where each of them is from.
Most of us are from Nelphine. For the most part, born and raised. Hard to say where those three are from. She points over towards the three automatons.
So they've answered questions through this time, right?
They have.
The automatons?
They've still
Okay.
they've spoken. Yes.
So what of each of you? But where were you? Where did you begin?
You get a similar answer from each, but in slightly different tones. The exact construction of our beings is not relevant, not decided, not important. We were made.
I'm giving Tinkers a little look on that one, but who made you?
You watch as the captain there, the Spaxy woman, the captain, as you're kind of getting to know her, steps in. They were all salvaged. They were pieces of scrap metal and different. I mean, it's hard not to call them conscious because they do have a consciousness about them. But as you can see by them making, looking now, like there's different pieces of wood and stone and metal. Like none of them are even close to Seven, who is almost a complete style of material all the way through. Yeah. They were, scrapped and brought together from different pieces in Nelphine. Nelphine is a very resource-rich area. There are plenty of different artifices and mechs specific that are able to take different pieces of broken, especially from where roughly all of us are from, able to take pieces and put together functioning automatons that are not precisely the make and model of the current era, if you know what I mean.
I do. We've been trying to learn more about that. I imagine these were no members of the crew. This was done before they came on board.
KS80 and T8Z over there. I helped with the original construction when I was growing up where I was. Again, most of them were salvage pieces that I brought to a friend in our hometown to kind of bring together and bring life back to.
Well, impressive work to accomplish all on your own, fully functioning. Well,
I wish I could take credit for them, but no, I had nothing. I gathered the pieces. I had a friend who was very gifted in speaking to automatons.
Interesting. I'm sure a few of us would like to meet that friend one day, but I
If we ever find ourselves in Nelphine, I'll make sure to introduce you.
Add that one to the list. I think that's really all I had.
Hmm. What what aside from money, what made you guys want to take this job?
Well, money is always a motivating factor. To answer bluntly, uh, our ship was in dire need of repair. We had a very good skeleton of a very capable vessel and a very competent and eager crew to make coin and kind of sell ourselves to the highest bidder. And from what we understand, we're not afraid to go places that other people are not. And it sounds like you are all looking to go somewhere very dangerous.
At least one somewhere.
Well,
Mm.
just consider us ready, willing, and able.
You all
Just
look quite capable.
some of your more elven crews might not be.
Oh yes, I guess I did forget one thing. Do any of well, I'll ask it at least. Do any of you have any inherent biases against elves? Considering what?
There's a group chuckle. Coin is coin. We have no bias against any payer or wielder of coin at all. We've worked for elves, dwarves, gnomes, other beast folk. We've been doing this a long time. Doesn't make sense to hate people, especially when we're people who've been hated for some time.
Fair point. Well, I don't know about elven crews, but I can tell you I think you'll find us quite capable.
Oh, I've no doubt you're capable. I just know elven crews will never dare move anywhere near the wastes.
I kind of look to the rest of the group. So, Suji, Shuri, 7.
What was the one thing?
7 is enamored with the other automatons, so he's gonna. There's things like me now around me.
I have little.
questions.
I have little brothers.
Are they like me?
I mean, two of them are similar.
They have their own free will.
Give me an insight check, 7.
Interesting.
Oh.
Nope. Seven's
You
too
could just
excited.
you could ask them.
Yeah. Are they like me? Do they have their own free will?
There was back in my head that wasn't 100% touch, but most of it is. I think for now we've covered the basis. We got like our what's it called? Our safety seemingly guaranteed. I feel like any questions I would want to ask them, I could ask them outside as
Cool.
I'll ask mine now. Have you guys ever worked with tieflings before?
Wait, I do have one.
I cannot say I have worked with tieflings extensively, but I've had the pleasure of
a few tieflings over the course of my years of transporting and running a crew. As far as I'm concerned, delightful individuals.
Has anyone previously worked as an assassin?
Any of us?
Yes.
Assassin is a strong word. I've killed people before. Is that what you're wondering? I've most certainly taken a life or 2 or 10 if it matters.
Right?
I've never been contracted. If we're talking about the art of assassination, I've never been contracted specifically to kill somebody. But as I said before, if my employer's demands go to the detriment of my crew, I will make it sure that my crew is taken care of.
Thank you. Are your employers private?
Certain ones were. I do not, as the colloquialism goes, I do not kiss and tell so much. But we've run all manner of odd jobs over the course of the last several years.
Okay. That's all I had.
Oh, and I have the one question I actually wanted to ask.
Go for it.
Okay. So the one thing I need to ask is it's not quite just like have you stolen before, because what, like life has happened, opportunities come, whatever. Have any of you ever purposely taken upon a job to try to steal from the people who contracted you or some source of that? Be it like along the job, purposely trying to steal.
Our contracts are pretty specific, and we make sure that they are written as such. We do not take
Mm.
jobs in the intent to take anything that belongs to the people that are doing their job. If, and she kind of looks at the party in general, but if a contract was to lead into an unexpected windfall, we are entitled to a portion of the loot as part of our contract. I have never taken, and my crew has never taken, anything that was not deserving of them.
Good enough for me.
So, for Vinteth's purposes, as you were part of the contract negotiations, the crew is entitled to obviously their stipends, their pay for the next year. If the party was to take on a job that the crew has to get directly involved in, that has any sort of windfall, whether it's magic items or, wealth or, clearing a hoard of some kind, they are entitled to a percentage of the loot.
I mean, that's only fair, right? They're
What was the
participating.
percentage? I'm just curious.
Total percentage for the crew is 10%.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's enough that
it incentivizes them to work harder because they know they get their share.
Yeah.
Which also, wait, hold up. Just so I'm clear, what are they being paid? Now, because I was thinking about doing something ridiculous, like trying to basically like bribe the crew into loyalty, but I gotta understand like some levels here of what we're talking about. Not an overshoot, or undershoot. I don't want to insult, and I also don't want to give a guy like 2 years' wages by accident.
So, I mean, their yearly salary difference between what their job is. So I will go over who everybody is and their name and their job position after we're done with the interrogation.
Okay.
I just wanted to make sure you guys got a chance to talk to everybody and vetted them appropriately.
Yep.
Do we want to ask if specific
It's
names?
it's. I think we're fine for now.
All the zones up, and they're agreed to it. Maybe they know Orin. Maybe they know Zephyrus. Zephyrus, what the fuck his name is? There's a few characters we're seeking that maybe they've
you're
randomly
right.
heard of.
Throw it out.
Might as well. They're going to hear the names at some point over the coming year.
Yeah.
Have any of you ever heard or been involved with a person named Foreign Singal?
You get a no from everybody.
Anybody else? Gonna ask about allies? Like, sure,
Does
anybody?
anyone know the name Zephyrus Jazverlog? A very prominent tiefling.
You watch as the first mate kind of perks up a little bit. Lavender skin, kind of pointy horn, gentleman.
Yes.
I mean, I can say I'm familiar.
Oh, who was this?
That was Vince.
Vince?
Vince, the
Oh, you're
the
the first
teal
mate.
teal scaled first mate.
Oh, that's interesting.
Are they bound to just yes or no questions?
No, but they could skirt the truth by saying whatever.
Yeah, they have to tell the truth, but they don't have to answer the question, and they don't have to give it a full They don't have to give a full. They have to avoid telling a lie, essentially.
Okay. Now, where have you seen Zephyrus? Ow.
You see, he tries to figure out how to say this for a second. I met him in a hotel room in Nelthine, where we may or may not have done certain acts.
Oh, so you know him very personally.
Oh, most biblically, yes.
Oh.
Most biblically.
Oh man.
How long ago was this?
Oh, about 8 months back.
Oh. Where was this hotel room?
You see, he gives you a name of a city in Nelthine.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Which
All
I think
right.
which we already knew was his last
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. It lines up with where you knew he was roughly around.
And around he
You
was.
you see the captain kind of looks at him dirty. He's like, "What? We were stationed. I do what I want."
Do you have any idea where he headed to?
Oof, I had several ideas of where his head was at, but I did not know who he was going next.
I'm just gonna whisper to her, I think they did the romantic love.
He got it. Well, kind of.
Vince leans in. There was nothing romantic about it, but it was,
Do you know of his travels?
Deal with me.
Not
I'm
your
here for the whole
body.
year.
I'm done.
Oh boy.
No, I have no idea. We had a few intimate nights together, and then he was gone. Look, I'm not the one who forced me to tell the truth here, okay? This was his doing.
Oh yes, why are we continuing down this path?
We're getting a little
it's
sidetracked
pretty
here.
important, Sai Shori. We are just supposed to be talking about our own safety.
So I'm just
I'm
enjoying the
trying
conversation,
to do
learning
my.
so much more things.
A lead's a
Guys,
lead. I don't think
Shori,
that's
you
going
can
anywhere.
get the lurid sexual details in private. This is not the time nor the place.
Am I in danger? That's what I need to know now. Because you asked this in specific questions about your safety. Am I in danger for having known this gentleman? And I say known very specifically.
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure.
I mean, I don't think we're in danger.
It
Probably.
doesn't. He doesn't direct. He is not the safest man. I am glad you are okay. But
So
it's
if I
not really
find
a.
him,
It is not a concern.
if I find him again, am I allowed to sleep with him again? Is all I'm asking.
As long as you
How
don't
are
speak
you?
of, as long as you don't mention that you know
And-
us or any of our travels, sure.
We'd like
Honestly,
to be a private employer. Thank you.
if you have the opportunity to sleep with him again, there may be a bonus if you can get us information.
Some espionage.
Ooh, yes.
Oh my
Perfect.
gosh.
You see,
got
he
some
looks back
platinum
at the,
pieces.
he looks back at the captain, and she goes,
Oh,
"Well, the next time I make contact with him, I will certainly let you know after."
We're pimping him out already. Oh my gosh.
Yes, you
Yeah.
do the pit.
You gotta take advantage of your crew's strengths. Vince is enthusiastic about that.
Thank you, Vince.
If you want to take
Nice
a
to get to
quick
know you.
walk out of the zone of truth, just for a quick question, like, do you still have contact with him, or was it just a passing and you just remember him?
I mean, I remember him. I'm not exactly magically inclined, and he didn't give me a forwarding address. if that-
Okay, that's all I need to know. Just curious. We will remember this. Might be useful.
Very good. For
Can
that
have
credit,
all the sex
I
you
rolled
want.
I rolled a nat 20 on his history check, so I'm gonna respect it.
At 20. Oh, they were fucking. Oh boy. Any other names that we should think of to ask?
I say let them ask us their questions.
Yeah, the floor is yours.
I think we've asked Vince plenty.
I do have one more question afterwards.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't sure.
You see the tiger striped tabaxi woman stands up. Well, I do appreciate your candor. I appreciate your questioning and your acquiescence to my questioning when it comes. I will expect that as a verbal contract, and I will take that when I need it. For now, I have no questions for you, but I resign myself to the ability to ask you questions under a particular zone when I need to later on. If you have no problem with our crew, we have no problem with the coin you have provided. I'm Roxanne Dilmaran, captain of what is now considered the 7 Deadly Sins. That's Roxanne, double X, double N. Last name Dilmoran.
Got it.
The tiger striped tabaxi woman that stands before you. You've met my first mate and heard way too much of his backstory. Vince Sinclair
Backstory indeed.
gives a wave. Over there on the side, you see, and she points off to the kind of like furry-faced, kind of like
The
dirty
monkey-like
in
creature.
places, monkey-like creature. He is a beast folk monkey named Silver Mayorin,
Mayoran.
Mm-hmm.
His particular jibe on this ship is he is ballistics and artillery, aka he's the powder monkey.
That's cute. Yeah, but you're proud of that one, weren't you? I get it.
I was. I knew I was giving you guys a full beast folk crew, and like I have to have a monkey that's actually the powder monkey. Like it has to happen. Over in the corner by the kitchen is Tegan Brightspot, the turtle chef.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a
Turtle.
large turtle.
Yep.
Wait, what's his name?
Tegan.
Tegan,
Brightspot.
Tigen.
Well, never mind.
Tegan. Tegan.
Mm-hmm.
Brightspot. The turtle chef.
Thought you were spelling them like like white people in California.
No, it's not T-E-A-N. No, there's no T-gen. It's Tegan.
If we get really famous, can we give like all these names to Key and Peele and have them do a skit on it?
Sure. She points back at the kind of eagle feathered individual towards the back. That is Frin Joran. Frin.
Mm-hmm.
Last name Joran.
Get it right.
I did too. I was shocked. Although the way he said it, I was thinking J-O apostrophe, and I swear this time I'm not joking.
It's close.
The
it's
way
close.
he said it.
Finn Joran. He's a eagle Aarakocra.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what?
Aarakocra is the bird people race.
Bird fuck.
How the fuck do I spell that?
It's just look
A-
it up.
Look up. It's A.
And then you get there.
Yeah,
A,
you'll get
there's
there.
some A's. Google will help you get there. It's because it's a race. It's a D&D race.
He is the lookout of the party. No specific role, but the next two are the crew members. You got Jay Sheen. Jay, last name Sheen, is the beast folk lizard folk.
Mm-hmm.
And then the beast folk bunny folk is timid Longshred.
Yep.
And then the three automatons, the two humanoid looking ones, are KS80, T8Z, and the one that's on like the kind of tri corner wheel that kind of like goes upstairs and kind of clunks as it moves up like normal spaces is Widget.
Widget.
Oh my god.
And that's your crew.
Roach, are we really turning? Is this going to be Star Wars? are we going to be Star Wars? Are we going to space?
I was given the instruction that your party was okay with a eclectic crew of people, and the one that's easiestly paid and willing to go anywhere is the one that was formerly all of Beast Folk.
I like it.
Makes sense. Kind of plays the theme too.
They're different. You're different. It's fine.
I mean, the religious theme, like boat full of animals. I know. References not to this world, but
changes the name to the Ark.
Seven's Ark, dude.
Yeah. Seven's Deadly Orc.
Seven's Deadly Ark. Oh, you thought this arc was to save and repopulate? No, it's to end everything.
You thought the flood was the problem? We're the problem. But yeah, that is your crew for the next year.
Or crimes, dropping mono batteries from the
They
sky.
all have names, and so if any of them die, now we're gonna be sad.
No.
If anyone hurts Widget, I feel that Seven will go on a rampage. Just
Oh, yeah.
like we've never seen before.
Thought I didn't like being treated like an object? Let me witness them being treated poorly. Seven eats everything.
Oh God.
There will be no evidence. What happened? They fell.
They're just doing their job, Seven.
But as you finish interrogating your crew, Roxanne looks at all of you. Well, if we are quite done here, I think our last preparations are in order. We'll make sure we get the last of our supplies on board. If you would like, she points over to Vince. Give him a tour below, a little bit of the quarters, and I will make sure we have everything we need, and we will be departing in the next, let's say, hour or so.
Okay.
Cool.
Very good. If you all come with me, I'll give you a quick tour of down below.
Yes, please. After you.
Right this way. He leads you down past the two storage areas, down the single staircase that leads down to the third deck. Down here, he points out. So, if you'll take a look here, we have several bunks off to your right here. That was, I believe, specifically designed for the gentlemen on board here. There are 4 beds in there for the 4 of you. He points at the 4 elven gentlemen. 4 beds, a bunch of closets and things, some wardrobes for you to keep your things. Off to the left here, you will see a single bedroom. This was part of the last minute adjustments. He leads into a room. Single bedroom. There's a self bath here. This is for a lady on board. This is your room to, you know, do with what you will. There's a single bed. There is plenty of closet space. You can see a lot of your belongings that were already requested have been brought here. There's your own separate bathroom. There is a bathroom for the gentleman on board as well. That is currently out here. He leads you back outside. There is a kind of communal bathroom also off of the kind of guys' bunk quarter. Further down this way, this is the crew quarters. This is where the majority of us will be sleeping in our, off and on jobs for the ship. Many of us, again, we work in kind of almost quarters. Basically, 3 to 4 of us is enough in non. As long as shit doesn't go bad, it doesn't really take
no.
more than like 3 of us to operate the ship. But in cases of turbulence or high enemy, if we think there's a bunch of creatures about, it might take more of us to,
Yes,
be
emergency
active.
events.
Of course. So this is the crew quarters here. Further down here, this last 2 bunkers here. This is all storage. This is things that extra, supplies, things to fix the ship. Things that you've all asked to have put on board here have been put in these 2 last bunkers over here. We'll leave it up to you. We were told that whatever was put here for you is correct. We leave it to you to double check it because we were told not to touch it, so we did not touch it.
Very good. We'll take a vote before we depart.
Very good. But yeah, that's the basic rundown of what goes down here, and this is again the people's quarters, the extra storage. The arcane batteries are off of the. You see he points off to the storage areas. There are separate corridors off to the back there where the arcane batteries are held currently. This ship does take 2 arcane batteries to run at a single time. It can run on 1, but we are kind of in auxiliary mode if we need to do that, and therefore we do not have ability to do like maneuvers or a lot of our heavy artillery if we are on 1 battery. We have enough battery with 1 to stay afloat.
How many backups are on board?
On board for the next year, we do currently have 4. So there's 2 in place, and we have 2 backups. Realistically, as long as we're not getting into heavy dogfights or anything like that, 2 batteries should be enough to last us at least 8 months. but as long as we don't sustain heavy damage to any of them.
Well, I'm glad we have the 6.
Yeah, prepare for the worst. And again, money did not seem to be an object, so we made sure we had extra.
Hmm.
Because also they are a bitch to load on.
Yes, very heavy. We've
Yep.
we've encountered those before.
I can barely move one by myself.
You can move one.
Yeah,
Fucking impressive.
thank you.
Absolutely impressive specimen.
I
Nice.
like to think so.
Well, I'll let you all get accommodated to your surroundings. We'll be probably leaving within the next hour or so. I'm gonna go make sure we have everything the captain needs, and if you have any questions, feel free to come to me first. Do not bother the captain unless it's absolutely necessary.
Is there a particular reason for that? Temper?
Well, I mean, if you are going to her directly, I'm not doing my job, and therefore I like to do my job, and therefore get paid. So therefore, I have any questions funneled through me, and if it's something I cannot handle, then I will escalate it to the captain. But in which case, then it is probably a serious problem if it's going to the captain.
Right, structure. Got it. Not a problem.
Very good. So I leave you all to get situated. Your rooms are as such. You have your belongings on board. Get comfortable, and we should be leaving within the hour or so.
Before he departs, I'm gonna pull Vince over if I can. Because Vince,
Sure.
before you depart, a personal question, not as a matter of the zone of truth, any of that. So feel free not to answer. I've worked some Dragon Ball before and done a lot of study history. Read a lot about Dragon Balls. How do I say this exactly? I'm not familiar with your ancestral school.
You
of
want to know
magic.
where I'm from, don't you?
Yes. Oh, yes, very much so. Yes. I. Sorry. I know. I'm a bit
No,
excitable, but
it's honestly it's completely understandable. I'm very unique, as it were. I am how do I put this? I am Fey touched. I am from the Fey Wild. I would be considered what is a Moonstone Dragonborn.
ah, fascinating. I have you spent any time at the Mages Academy? Is it? I mean, I'm sure there's.
Oh God, no! I'm not mage of any kind.
That's it. How did you?
I prefer swords and sword play, if that makes sense.
It does. It very much does.
Very good.
Yeah,
Yes. No,
you're not in the zone of truth anymore, Vince.
I did not tell a lie.
I know you didn't. Fine, very good. Do you
I'm
know what?
familiar. I'm familiar with my kind. Yes.
I'm surprised that there's no writings of dragonborns of your nature, but it's good to know at least.
Well, that's because we're not from here, are we?
Mm.
They touched and all.
I guess it depends on what you mean.
I mean, there are dragons that are from here,
Mm.
and there's dragons that are from the Fae.
Do you have any connection to your
To the Fae?
ancestry in that way?
Well, I can say I was born there. I wasn't born here. I was born of the realm of Fae,
Mm.
and I chose at a certain age to come here and enjoy things that this world had to offer.
I see. That's how long have you been here?
Time's a weird thing. I think by the best of my estimation, about 15 years or so.
Do you have a plan on returning?
I'm sure people there want me to return, but I'm having too much fun.
Well, you've got at least a year out here. Hopefully, we can provide you with a little bit more of that fun bits.
Hey,
And
the money's good.
if you've
I
got
might as well stay.
yes, if you've got any tales from your time in the Fae, I think I'd be willing to hear if you feel like over a drink one of these days.
As long as the liquor stays flowing, I have no problem divulging a few secrets or two, spell or not, if you know what I mean.
Well, I didn't say it, but always happy to ply with a little bit of liquor.
Well, I'll let you all get settled.
Yes.
And I'll make sure everything that we need is prepared for our departure.
Pleasure to meet you, Vince. I look forward to working with you.
You as well. Watch sachets up the stairs and
Moonstone Dragon. Tinkers, what? You certainly meet some interesting characters out here, don't you?
not a real thing, right? Is that real?
It's not like he died himself. I mean, it would be a strange thing to lie about, huh?
Yeah, but he could lie. Like, we went out of the zone of truth. He said this somewhere else. Like, he's just fucking with you.
It could be, I suppose. You might be right. I guess we'll feel him out over the coming.
In what world is a moonstone not a gem dragon? We know what the gem dragons are. How is it not a gem dragon?
I mean, if he's really from the Feywilds, I honestly I didn't know there were any dragonborn born in the Feywilds. But then again, Tinkers, I didn't know about 25 different things now. Versus just a few months ago. So who's to say, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Anyway, let's go check out these rooms.
Yeah, we got rooms.
Do you see that? Zashori, when do we get to use your bathroom?
My bathroom. You said
Oh,
yourself.
So
My bathroom.
Only when you're gone. I understand completely.
Oh, murdering.
Yeah, I'm sure ours will be sufficient. All right, I'll just go check out the rooms.
The room.
The room. Yeah, sorry, the room. Well, we got crew quarters. I can take a look, see what's going on down here.
Suji, can I check out your pauldrons?
My pauldrons?
Well,
Sure.
on his body because he can't take them off.
Oh, yeah, but I'm more just like kind of shocked, like my pauldron. Sure.
Do you have a description of it or not?
While back, I think we did. Hold on, let me try to find it. Beautifully crafted, pristine silver pauldrons. There is a craftsman's mark. It is an anvil with forged hammer.
I guess that was it.
I need to update my sheet on one thing.
Well, that's what I had in my original notes.
No,
from
there
like,
is
this,
there is one
August
other
2
thing
years
I
ago.
didn't know about, but
Oh, the craftsman's mark on them?
no, it's something else.
Oh, okay.
Is Echo on there, or did I like miss a comma in my notes or something?
Is what?
Echo.
Echo.
I don't think
What do you
Yeah,
mean?
there was
echo?
nothing echo like the.
I don't know what that means.
Okay, I missed a comma then. Thank you.
Echo is like one of the things Shori's been tracking down.
Oh, wait.
Kind of deity-ish. I'm vaguely
Hello.
vague on Echo.
I heard things about Echo.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I didn't know you
She
were
was wondering if like the mark of Echo was on Hondrik's pauldron.
No, what I'm assuming, Saishori, your notes are
Oh,
looking at
God of the
are
Underdark. That's right.
there were
Yep.
there were two items in the fake quartz beards vault that had the like deitic energy to
The
them.
hexagonal item had the imprint of Echo on it.
Correct.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, so there were two separate items. There was the thing that was of Echoes that was missing, and the pauldrons, which were of Hondrik. So I'm guessing somewhere.
Oh,
in
okay,
your
okay, I
notes.
remember now.
Yeah, there were two separate items.
Because Ferris went there before we got there.
Yep,
And stole
and
one.
left with one of them.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I was missing a comma.
Yeah, he stole the thing that was of Echo. But yeah, so you looking at the quarters down here, there is a single, very large room that has again 4 separate beds.
Yep.
Several wardrobes and functioning areas for you guys to put any of your clothes, your things that you need to keep. Off of that next door, there is a large kind of like bath area that could definitely is designed for communal bath, or if you just need to take a bath by yourself. But it could fit at least 4 people at a time if you needed to. Then on the other side of the hallway, there's Saishori's room that has a single large bed, all of her wardrobe, and you can see that it is already stocked with like outfits and things that that Viesa sent ahead, as well as your crates of like perfume and things that she wanted you to have for the journey. Attached to that, there's your own separate bathroom that is just for you. That is a bath and area for you to get get right for the evening if you so chose.
You're saying no more prestidigitation to cover the smell?
Then further down the hallway, there is a crew quarters that has spots for 6 people to sleep at any given time, but there are lockers / cubbies for the full. There's up to 12 places here that would accommodate the 9 crew people, and then the captain has its own quarters up above. And there's those last 2 storage areas for any gold you guys want to keep on board, any other items you want to keep on board, extra stock, which is basically like wood and things to repair the ship and the sails, and extra food is kept in the pantries that are up by the kitchen area, things like that.
Can I have my money moved into my room?
If you wanted to, yeah.
Is it like any less secure in my room?
Up to you. When you're up in the air, it's probably about the same. If you land, it's basically as secure as the ship is on the ground with whoever's here. Unless you're doing anything to augment your security.
Okay, I'll keep it in my room.
Okay. But yeah, you all spend probably the next part of the half hour just getting used to the different floors, the different things that are going on. Any of you head back up to the galley, you see that that Tegan is off in the kitchen starting to prepare a meal for later today, because again it's probably about mid-afternoon as you're all getting there. So you see that they're preparing for like a kind of like a launch meal / early dinner if it's needed. But yeah, the ship is yours to do what you wish before takeoff. Or any other questions you have for crew members, each other, feel free to go ahead and jump into it.
Going up to the top deck to bless the ship.
Anything
I-
helps, right?
I asked Seven if he wants to like come to the side so I could try to do the favor he asked me before.
Yes.
So me and Seven are gone for a little bit.
Alright. So, Vinette, you go upstairs to bless the ship, and give it safe travel, and whatever may come. Suji, what are you attempting to do?
I'm casting stone shape on Seven's like face to give him a beard and hair.
Yes.
I mean, I would make you
And-
roll for it, but this all seems on the up and up, so I can't. So
I
here we
forget
are.
if we talked about on the other thing, but I was collecting some like clay over at the estate for it.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm going for.
But you have a pick?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh my god, I'm so ready.
Well, for now, Roach has it.
Oh, I thought you were
Ah.
sending it to. I thought you were putting it in chat.
I mean, it's easy enough. Yeah, that's fine.
What a
I can't.
tease.
I can't say no. It's simple. Sure, you
Yep.
can post if you want.
When you guys re-see Seven, he now has a beard and some hair. And it's up to, what's it called? Joe, if he wants to share it on stream. But we decided on this.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Are you for real? Of course.
It kind of matches Seven's like demeanor
My
perfectly.
Yeah,
gosh.
that's a 7. That's a 7 haircut and beard style.
Jeez
With like
Louise.
the super fancy clothes.
But
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Seven is so clean right now because he did just get his new chain.
the DM in me wants to ask how many days he has to wear the do-rag.
God,
It's
Like-
underneath that frog.
he
man.
has
No
waves
one
and
knows.
beard.
Like- Those are some good waves you're trying to get. How many days? Mm.
I mean, I'm shaping it with stone.
You are, and it works. It works.
It's stone waves.
I'm not. I'm
I
not
was gonna
fighting
ask
it.
Roach a personal question and be like, "Does the durag have to be yellow?"
Oh no.
God damn it!
Not again. It always comes back.
Yellow durag. Check out his SoundCloud.
All right. 7. You have hair and a beard, apparently.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Seven's going to go into the room and then make something
Oh.
with his new magic items.
I'm going to go bug Zaishori for the moment.
All right.
Zaishori, I just wanted to be sure because I was saying it before we left. I don't want to delay. We've already been very delayed in our attempts to get to the wastes and to your people. But if we could take a small stopover in Dataran, I think everyone would have a wonderful time. Quick stop in, and then we're there. But we can always go on the way back. I'm not going to be insistent about it.
what's there again?
It's my hometown. And it just so happens to be directly on the path between us and the wastes, or rather, the harbor we're going to.
Is it before the border or after the border?
Oh, well before. I mean, Dranson's harbor and Ferris is that final spot before the waste, the last bastion of civilization. So Danaran is on the lake, on the edge of the lake that's on the roughly midway point. I don't know.
I'll pull up the map.
All my sense of direction points that way right now. So
Can you see the map right now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, you guys are up here in Silicon Valley.
This is where Ferris.
You guys have to here's Theris, yeah.
Or Ferris.
Yeah, Danaran, where he wants to go, is right here.
Will we still make it to, was it Ferris? In a week's time?
We told him 11 days. Or I hope we did.
I believe so, yeah.
If it fits in the timeline, then let's go see your daddy.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't a week like 11 days or some shit though?
Weeks are
10.
10 days. 10 days.
10 days. We have a day to play with.
Okay.
Your dad tries to take me apart, Ravi.
He's
so disappointed.
he's not going to take you apart, but I would like to bring you into the lab just for we're learning, right, Seven, with the blueprints, and we're learning
Yeah.
things.
All right, but he better not ting at me.
I will make sure he understands
I'm a
the
person.
risks of messing with you, and that you are a person, Seven. I will
Yes.
make sure he knows. Honestly, I don't expect my father to provide any insights on you that we haven't gained already, but it never hurts.
All right.
Never hurts to ask.
Oh, guys, now there's a giant mirror in our room.
God.
Is it on the ceiling?
No.
Well, Seven, I see you're having fun already.
Yeah, look how good my hair and beard is. So nice. The mirror is roughly the exact size that I am, so
Yeah.
it is the giant mirror.
It's a full-length mirror, yeah.
And
Wow, Seven. When did you learn how to do this?
Recently.
I just expect you to come back with new accessories each time I see you now, Seven.
Yep.
Gosh.
All right. So as you convey to the captain your next destination, which, from the sounds of it, we agreed to go to Danaran.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So from here to Danaran, using the ship that you have with the speed that you are currently projected to do, it'll take about 4 days.
That's some solid, speedy ship travel.
So, is there anything you wish to do in the next 4 days? Is there anything you want to accomplish? Any conversations you would like to have? Any things that are pressing between yourselves, the crew? You can, feel free to pull somebody aside, however you want to do this. But you got 4 days.
I'm gonna send Dad a message before we go, just to make sure he's actually, he's not planning on taking a trip out of town or something. Wouldn't that be awkward?
I got all this money. I'm gonna head
yeah,
down.
he might have. He did just get a bunch of money. I should tell him I'm coming.
Bro,
so
he already
I'm
hit the
gonna-
casino, dude. He's gone. He's destitute.
I'm gonna send him a message.
I might as well head to Nelfine and get out the. They call it the loosest slots in all of.
Oh
in
no!
all of
Don't do it, Dad! Don't do it! It's all a scam. Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'll send him a message before we leave. Like, All right. Once I get the confirmation, everyone's good with the trip to Danaran. I'll just message him.
Yeah, he lets you know. It's like, yeah, thanks for letting me know. I wasn't planning on going anywhere right away, so yeah, I'll be in town for a while now. I've never taken vacation before, so I'll wait for you to get here, and then I'll figure out where I'm gonna go next.
Perfect.
I want to talk to the automatons. Just questions.
Sure. What do you got for him?
Like, what do you mean you were made? You remember this?
We were constructed by master. Yes.
You have a master.
Yes. Constructed, made to complete tasks.
Can you do tasks other than what you're told to do?
No.
Oh.
Make complete objective.
Do you feel things?
No. Feeling. No.
7 just starts feeling very sad for them. Do you know how old you are?
Made years. Human years ago.
Have you met anything like me before?
No. Speak freely as 7.
Yeah. Okay. I hope we continue to get along.
Continue. Get along.
Right. Sorry, I'll let you return to your tasks and objectives.
Continue on.
7 has profound, not good feelings about this. I have free will? They just do what they're told. Oh, 7 hates it.
Welcome being human, bitch.
Yeah. Like, I'm gonna put that soul stone of Sventets into one of them, see what happens. Nah. I think 7 is feeling what everyone else would call depression. 7 calls it bad.
Oh,
The bad feeling.
The bad feeling. Yep.
Very good. But yeah, as you continue for the next couple of days, does anyone else have anything they wish to accomplish before your approach of Danaran a few days away from your original departure from Silicon Valley?
mm. Just a question. When was the last time we saw Suji go fire monkey?
Fire monkey? I might have done on the first fight in the caves.
Yeah, somewhere down in the caves, so a couple days.
Okay. Just curious. Keeping a log. The sure is sus.
Ah.
Suji does love his murder.
Oh, ever since the conversation.
We've
Oh,
had a
wow.
previous conversation the last time we were on an airship where he brought it up unprompted.
That's not incorrect.
Mm.
But the next couple of days go pretty unmiraculous. You watch as quickly, compared to your travel in, you start to notice how quick this ship is moving. You are at far greater speed than the air yacht that you are currently on. At one point, probably a day and a half travel, as you start to leave the mountain range of Silicon Valley, you even notice, I would say, Valier and Vintev? Yeah. Yeah. So Valir and Vinteth, even like about a day and a half as you guys are starting to approach the edge of the actual mountain range where Silicon Valley is, situated. Um, you pass kind of that midway range of where the Chimera that you fought on your way in kind of was, and you notice like something starting to approach the ship, and you can see kind of just in the distance this large like flapping creature with multiple heads, and you can see it, and the two of you instinctually start to call like your party up and get up to the deck, and you're looking out like prepare for battle, and it's like, but then you realize like this ship is leaving it in the dust. Like this thing cannot catch up to how fast you are currently moving.
Let's
So
go.
there is a good like 60 seconds where you guys are preparing for a fight that you just start to see this thing just in your rear view just disappear to the horizon.
Damn.
And you're like,
Oh, and
Uh.
there it goes. Over the horizon.
False alarm.
Well, one less thing we had to worry about in the skies. We're pretty quick.
I think we made the right call with how the ship was constructed.
You know, Robbie, I really gotta thank you. This airship was a great idea.
Ah, well, we'd been talking about it for so long. I couldn't help but feel like I had newfound desires for an airship I never had before in my life.
so you continue on your way for the better part of a couple days, and you spend again the next couple days talking to the crew, talking to each other, getting yourself situated in your new found home, which is a weird sensation for a lot of you. Like you are all been very nomadic. You've all kind of went with the flow and found different, hit inns and hotels and characters, and you spent a lot of time at the Hour's Glass, and you've never really had a home for a lot of you for a long time. But here you are on something you all collectively own. This is your airship. This is where you belong. This is where you can go back to. It's a moving, operating base of operations. It's something that you can use for whatever. You can go where you need to go. You can do what you need to get done. You have so many different objectives. All of you have different reasons for being here. You have different reasons for wanting to be able to easily move about all of Zelenkov. You have jobs for the broker to do, but you all have things to do individually and things that you want to accomplish, people you need to find, places you need to be. The next couple of days go pretty quick as you get to know again the beast folk aboard your vessel, aboard the ship, aboard your new home. In the sky around, quickly, Ravi, you start to notice the difference. You start to see familiar sights. A small forest, a hunting ground. You see a little bit of hill off in the distance where you remember going to scavenge and claw whatever metal you could out of the hills. The surrounding area of Danaran. Your home. The place you grew up for so many years. You approach, and it takes a minute. Danaran does not have a full active airport.
We find a spot.
You find a spot for the ship to land slightly off of the town because
Danaran is not a huge place. To a degree, most of you would understand just from kind of coming over the top of it, going back to find a spot to land outside of the town. It's probably about the size of 2 of the yacht you guys were already that you came to Silicon Valley on. Like that's about the size of Danaran. It's not a huge city.
Gotcha.
But it's just off the water. You can see kind of a little bit of the lake in the distance as the ship touches down, hovers there in the air. You all look to the crew. You give them their commands to stay here, wait for your return. Revi, as you have the party disembark to leave the airship to head to Danaran. Well, how are you feeling? What are you feeling in this moment of you haven't been home in a very long time?
So it's coming out here. It's an overwhelming just relief to be back. Before the journey, everything was pretty normalized. Back at home, and so this is this is unique to be back home. But more importantly, I wanted the opportunity to see when I say relief, to see my father again because of these attacks. There's beyond all the general danger, there's these things that I believe are specifically targeting me, and so I'm worried about the future there too. But in the moment, stepping off of this ship, just good to be home. This might not be one of the huge cities, that we've been to in the past, but it has its charms, and I hope in the day here, everyone can discover them. Seven,
Yes.
if you'd like to, I won't try to force you, but if you'd like to accompany me to my father's workshop, I think he would very much like to meet you.
All right. I'd like to meet the person that raised you.
For the sake of this, I will check with all of you now. It is currently 11 o'clock. We could go for a little bit longer if people would like to, or we could call it here. I'm fine with either way. If we got if we got another half hour in us, we can keep going, but just want to give people the option.
I don't care. I'll just do a quick bathroom run of the others.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah, I could do another 30.
Yeah, you guys want to take a quick pee break, and then we'll push a little bit more.
Is there?
Sounds good.
Sounds like a plan.
Heck yeah.
Quick stream. Here's the noises.
Put on elevator music.
I'm just gonna keep dancing and making noises. No, I'm not gonna get water. I'll be back. We'll be back, stream.
Yeah, be right back. Be right back.
The moment where I said, "How do I fuck with the party again?" I give them beast folk and more robots.
Yeah. You did it. You're giving 7 a crisis.
Well, you've given us assassin robots before, so
I
Yeah.
did.
nothing new.
Yeah, but they got
Nothing that
people
talked.
parts. Yeah. They had people parts too. These ones are all robot. Like
We
me.
haven't ripped these open yet.
I don't think I'm gonna rip these ones open.
They only have some human anatomy.
Yeah.
Is this a pleasure model? Oh, it was kind of crazy. This one manager at work, we were like talking with another guy, and he makes the Kanye West like fish sticks joke. He apparently never saw the fucking South Park episode.
But he likes fish sticks
Yes,
in his mouth.
yes,
Loves them.
completely loves.
So he's gay fish.
Yeah, he's a genius.
What about being a visionary makes me a gay fish? I'm an
And
icon.
I was also explaining the
I'm a
episode a little
genius.
bit. I was slightly explaining the episode to him too. I'm like the episode's good and stuff, and it's quotable, but the fact that it's so good is that Kanye West to this day still does not understand the joke and references it every once in a while.
That is definitely the best part.
No, the best part is that it calls out Carlos Mencia for not being funny.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, man! I've got no dick, man.
You get it? Please. Please just get it.
And then the casual read on the news. The Carlos Mencia was found with fish sticks stuck down his open neck. Oh man.
Come on, man. Get it. Just get it.
Please get it.
Say the joke again. Do you like fish sticks? I love them. Can't get enough. Then you gay fish, man.
He's so confident too. God damn it.
That to me is peak South Park.
Yeah, that was some good shit right there.
How the fuck did we get on that? What did I miss?
I was mentioning it happened at work. Back to D&D.
Back to fish sticks.
Oh, do you like fish sticks?
refuse to answer.
That's the right response.
It's a yes or no question.
Anywho,
Thank you.
Okay, now in D&D, it's like, Shori, do you like... You are in the zone of truth, damn it. Okay.
Zone of Truth ended days ago. But continuing where we left off. Landing a few miles outside of Danaran, it does not have an official port here in the city proper. The party, to Revi's request, disembarks and starts to make their way towards the city. Revi, I will ask you at this moment, where do you direct the party? Do you make a beeline towards your, family home and establishment? Is there anywhere in town you wish to check out first? Where would you like to lead the party?
I'm gonna go straight to like the home and the workshop area. Is there anything? So, like, is there some place in town for anyone who doesn't want to accompany that, like, I could direct people for some sort of entertainment value, food, drinks, or something?
I mean, yeah, there's a small inn and tavern in town that people can go to if they want to get some drinks. Not much in the way, like Danaran, again, small town, doesn't really have much in the way of like armory or anything like crazy in the entertainment industry. But it has its watering holes and things that people can go to if they so inclined.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so I would say everyone. So yeah, there's a couple spots to go, but if everyone would like to accompany to the workshop, you're more than welcome. I mean, at this point, I think my father is going to be in quite a good mood.
Well, I'm tagging along.
Yeah, I'm going with.
Okay.
Same.
So
We're here to see what you do.
as you make your way through town, and again, the small town on the water, the thing that starts to hit you all is the noticeable smell of kind of like molten metal, a little bit of that like the smell of like when metal grinds on metal in the air is kind of permeating throughout the town here.
Does DM, does my father have his own forge, or would there be a separate one in town?
No, your shop does have a forge specifically. Okay. Valir and Vintef. As you start to make your way through town, you notice mostly elven population. So you see, different elven, lineages between high elf and drow and Shadar-kai. The thing that starts to point out to you, and a lot of people do stop and recognize and see Revi as he starts to kind of like wave, and Revi, you see a lot of towns, like again, small town energy, like a lot of people here know who you are, and you see a lot of the young kids that were probably like maybe 8 or 10 when you left are now in their early teens, and you see a lot of people just like wave you in the street, noticing that you have returned. But Valir and Vintef, the thing that starts to point out to you, and it seems to be something that either he's not bringing up or just doesn't register to Revi because it's so commonplace.
out of every 10 people you see, probably about 8 of them have some sort of prosthetic.
Hmm.
You're seeing constant, just an arm missing, a leg missing, and again, Revy doesn't notice it. He seems to just say hi to people that he notices in the streets. Familiarity, people on the streets, just like, oh hey, that's my neighbor. This is the guy that I knew from downtown. He's not calling attention to it because it doesn't stick out to him as odd. But to you two, you notice, missing legs, missing arms. Some people multiple, but 8 out of every 10 people you see are missing, and again, including children, are missing some sort of
What the
appendage.
fuck?
Do I notice like any insignia or like symbol on the prosthetics?
Give me a investigation check. Hard to tell. Again, you're moving too quickly. You're not sitting there and like actively checking them out, but you've noticed that they're present, but you don't see them. Like you're not looking close enough to be like, let me see your arm, kid. Type thing.
Well, this is not what I expected from here.
I'm
Oh,
confused.
yes, Oh, wait, do I hear this, or is he saying this privately? Sorry.
I'm just talking out loud.
Oh, yes, I know. Like I said, it's not the large town experience. But again, I do appreciate the stop, and it's
Ravi,
yeah, yes.
why is everybody mutilated?
Okay, first and foremost, that we're going to eliminate that word from our vocabulary right fucking now. Second
Dismembered?
of all,
Why would you say it like that?
are we mutilated for our use of mechanical tools? They are simply using the tools necessary to live their lives, as are we.
I've seen a handful here and there of people using prosthetics, but this is like a town full of people using prosthetics.
Well, this is where a lot of them decided to settle after the war. Not everyone has access to high-level clerical magic. It is rare, it is expensive. So, they come to someone like my father, or like the work that I used to do. Along my travels, you meet people from the war effort, different adventurers, and it definitely fuels the fire as far as your energy. I wanted to do better so that the machines could be better, that the prosthetics, that everything that all of these people need just to function could be better.
So you're saying that they traveled here for prosthetics and then settling down.
Many did, yes.
There's no crazy wizard person you're related to that's chopping people's limbs off and sacrificing them to whatever god. No.
Did I ever give you the impression my father was some wild spellcaster? No, I
didn't say your father. It could be your grandfather. It could be a cousin, a crazy uncle somewhere.
I left to the Faltherian Academy to study magic.
A professor?
No. This is what we did here. My inspiration is, and my roots are from Danaran, the creation of all of this. As much as I learn about magic, the tinkering is at my heart. And the work I've done, the good I've done, is something I'm proud of, regardless of now taking this more individual journey for myself.
I'm half joking, but we have seen crazier things. I'm glad that there's like a normal explanation for once, but you have to admit it's kind of jarring.
Well, again, yes, there's a lot of tragedy among this bunch. I don't, I'm not shouting from the rooftops. I'm not trying to rub, my relatively normal upbringing to anyone's faces. That's not the goal. But yes, things were a lot more stable for me than some of you youth. Um, so the least I could do is make things a little bit more stable for those around here. We got by, but it was not about the money. It's passion and what's right. Well, with the money my father's got, I know he can retire, but I think what's more likely to happen is he's going to come back and he's going to advance even further with the work he's doing. That's my guess. But all I would ask is if you have any more questions, especially if you're talking directly to any members of the town, don't use that word. No one is mutilated, please, Vinta, for the love of my sanity.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
I'll give you one further. After we're done visiting
Please.
your father, or wherever we're going,
Mm.
I assume there's a church of Sornlin somewhere around here. I'll go say a prayer for all
It's-
non-mutilated.
How would the mother think of your words towards her followers?
I get what he was trying to say.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cool.
We're in an elven town. There will be a church of
Yeah,
Sorn.
I'm just saying it like that to bust your balls.
Yes.
But as you, Revi, as you lead your party further in town, Suji, you start to notice the familiar smells of, forged metal, the sparks and smell of, high heat kind of permeating the air that's a noticeable couple of degrees warmer in the area that you're starting to approach. As you all approach a very, quaint single-story building, but you see a large sign. It doesn't really have words on the front of it, but you do see kind of a large insignia of what looks to be a trussum. Something you've traveled with for a while now. A cat with wings stretched out on a single steel shield, with a couple of the wings are kind of etched into a point that there's 3 sets of them kind of splaying out and showing the wings outspread. But Revi, a familiar sight to you as you watch and see your familiar family home. The kilns at work, the heat pressing off of it, slightly on the water because you know that your father was able to, with the money you accumulated over your time, were able to get this position because it gave you instant access to cooling and materials from being on the lake. But you see, just a couple of feet ahead of you, your family home. Something you've been away from for some time.
It's good to be back, albeit briefly. Please, everyone, just this way. I'm sure he's right inside. He might be working, and if he's in it, he might not hear us. Dad, and you hear Robbie start yelling out towards the house. He's walking towards it.
As you all walk inside, again, familiar to Revi and even Suchi at this point, you hear the clank, clank, clank of metal, just forging of something on an iron. But as Revy, you scream out. Tinker's kind of excitedly sprints into the office, and you see him just wrap around the leg of a man sitting at a hot iron in front of him. He goes, "Oh, hey, bud. Oh, oh, oh my God. Oh," you see he takes his apron off. He looks back. He's like, "Oh my gosh, Revy. Oh my God, it's so good to see you, son." He goes over and he wraps you up in a hug. Um, you all see before you a, elderly elven gentleman, probably somewhere in his, probably 3 to 600s. You're unsure where because elves. Um, he has a smithing apron on, just solid black. He's got these big gloves that he's in the midst of taking off to go reach for Revy. You all notice as he takes off the right glove, just a full metal arm from tip of the fingers all the way up to like his shoulder, just full prosthetic. But he takes his gloves off. He reaches out to Revy. He pulls you into a hug. Um, you see your father before you.
Obviously, I'll embrace him in the hug. So good to see you. It's been
Oh
it's
my
been too
gosh.
long.
You said you were coming back. I didn't think you were going to be this immediate. These must be. Oh, good golly gosh! You must be Revy's friends. Please come in. Please come in. Well, you need to. Yeah, our home is your home. Just whatever you need, just let us know.
Friends, and believe it or not, officially recognized company.
Officially recognized company. God,
Yes,
who should I be? Who should I be so addressing?
we are now Seven's Deadly Sins, the legal entity in possession of a very fast airship. Thus, the shocking speed in which we were able to get here. I was still caught off guard by it. So.
Well, let me be the first to officially welcome Seven's Deadly Sins to Danaran, our little slice of paradise away from home here. I hope you all had a safe travel here. Thank you for making sure my son arrived safely. I do truly appreciate everything that he has told me you've all done for him. But please come in, please. Mind the heat, if you will. It's I gotta Tinkers. You know how to I got it. And you see Tinker starts working about blowing out the kiln and starts to make the forge start to burrow heat out of the room. God, I missed that. I can't.
Oh, he's expanded his talents, believe it or not.
That's hard to say. Like that is already an impressive Tressum.
Yes, and yes, he is. Well, it's speaking of the forge, we actually have a somewhat of an expert amongst us when it comes to smithing. I was hoping while we're here, Dad, we can only stop in. I think I'd mentioned we're only going to be here for the day. We do have a deadline. I'll tell you a little bit more when we have a chance. But for now, I thought it might be interesting if he's so inclined. Seven, would you like to introduce yourself? Huh?
I'm 7 even.
Oh, well, hello, sir. It's a pleasure to meet you. He raises a hand up
Yeah.
to shake yours.
Yeah.
Is this the friendly automaton you were telling me about in the message you sent?
That's
Tinkers, are you gonna pull out that bar? It's giving me anxiety.
It's fine. It's cooling. Do you want to do this? You get over here then.
Yeah, Suji, go.
I kind of just casually grab the glove off him and just start going towards the forge.
Suji just starts going to work. It's like, all right, fine. You tell me what you need me to do. Look, I've done this a million times. You just want me to cool the forge. You pull it. Okay, fine. So Suji and Tinker start doing their shit off in the corner.
I knew. Oh, good. Hey, he is a good assistant. Tinker's, I mean, but.
One of the best, yeah. But it is a pleasure to meet you and see. Oh my gosh, he's you see, he traits you've all seen familiar to Revy. he gets lost in a second and is just examining like the seams and trying to look like he's like, oh, all right. Just kind of ignores the people in the room. It's like,
Yeah.
Right.
So Dad, yes, yeah, he is
oh,
fascinating.
I'm
Hey,
so sorry.
I-
Yes,
I'm a person.
you are an incredible person. I wholeheartedly agree. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance, Seven Even. Um,
Pleasure to meet. Robbie, how strong is your heart?
I don't like
Well,
that
no,
question,
Rob, I want to
Seven.
show him something. I don't want him to faint.
Oh my gosh.
So what are you going to don't pull something horrific out of your
No, I'm just
storage.
gonna transform a little bit.
Oh, uh, before give that one moment. I
Yeah,
will say.
I asked first this time.
Alright. So, Dad, I was hoping we could take a look. Seven wants to learn more about himself, his origins, and I'll admit that my cursory examinations haven't turned up much. And so I know it's not much time, but I figured, while we're here, if it's something that would interest you, and Seven is so inclined, we can take a look and see if there's anything maybe we can discover.
well, I would certainly not. I would not want to do anything that makes him feel uncomfortable. As he's a living, breathing uh, person, as it seems. But if he is so inclined to let us give him a quick gander under the forge here and under our inspection, I would happily oblige to take a look and see what's going on under that hood.
All right.
What do you think, Seven? I mean, it's opportunity to discover
Hey
more
guys,
about
you're
yourself.
cooling it too much.
You are not. Look, you need to move quicker. That dude over there, he's got one hand and he moves faster than you. Get your shit together. Get it together.
Oh my god, the fuck.
So yeah, but before that, I would like to show Robbie's dad the tail.
Oh yes, and then there's more.
I do several things, but we're going to show you one today. Next visit, I'll show you a different thing. We know good. Seven's back starts shifting and shaking, and you just hear the metal noshing as the 10-foot tail pops out of his back.
Oh, well, that is certainly something. That is oh my god, the plates. He starts pointing out. I was like, they were here, and they just starts to slide downwards, and
Yes, the way they expand it somewhat defies sense, doesn't it? So.
well, I don't know if it decides sense. You can see he immediately starts to examine this.
Yeah.
See here, Revy, he starts to point it out. It's like I don't think it's defying sense here. These were slided panels, right? And they went all the way up his back here, and they just kind of shifted out and then down. And then he starts pointing things out to you that you didn't catch at first. And he's like, "Yeah, see, so it's all part of him. Everything it's either inside or part of his like kind of his back cavity here, and it continues to extend outward. And don't get me wrong, the fact that it keeps that flexibility, like that's more impressive than some of the joints we've made. Like we've made some good elbows, but that right there, that's impressive. It's got flexibility, and you can see like
and it is highly durable.
Yeah. I moved a boat with it. A vessel.
that's certainly impressive. He is
but-
a absolute specimen of a human being.
Those are good call outs though. I think I think after all this time I'm probably a bit rusty.
It comes with the time and the trade. It's just that you've been away doing your wizardly studies and haven't quite. You just got to freshen up on some of your your tinkering and things. But God, you are Seven. I will say you are a absolutely exquisite and unique individual.
Thank you, sir.
And if you would give me the permission, I would love an opportunity to study you a little bit further and see if I can figure out. You said you're trying to figure out a little bit about who you were and what you do.
Yeah, I've only been conscious for what, about 3.5 months now.
Well, all right. Well, yeah, we can. If you got some time, I can certainly sit you down on the table here, and we can give you a look over.
I will agree to it, but if Evan gets uncomfortable, he's gonna let you guys know.
Yes,
That's understandable.
and I can talk to you, Seven, and make sure that
Yeah.
that someone is talking to you at all times. So don't
That is important.
worry. Dad, I don't really want to go into detail about this right now, but someone needs to continue to talk to Seven. Otherwise, he gets, let's just say he gets paranoid.
Well, I mean that is quite all right as long as someone's talking to him. Where are my manners? You are currently working back at my forge back there, and the rest of you have just been sitting here while I've been gushing over this exquisite automaton man. Please come on in. Any friends of Revy's? Can I names, please, please, please. Come on in, please.
I'm
Hit
looking
my-
to yeah.
Yeah, I was about to hit my gong. Hit my gong.
Gotta be who you are.
Volir Warlock.
Oh, well, that is definitely a ring-in I will not forget. Is Mr. Warlock. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Reach out to shake his hand. Vinteth.
Vinteth, welcome to our little humble abode here.
Sashuri.
Sure. Please come on in, make yourself comfortable. Please, anything I got here is more than welcome. I got Tinkers, the tea. You know where the tea is? Yeah, fuck it. Don't fuck this up, Suji.
What the fuck have you been doing the whole time? I gotta do it all. No wonder why you didn't have wings earlier.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
I will fuck you up.
Oh no.
I think it'll be a
What?
fair fight.
What? Just Tinkers goes off in the kitchen and starts. You're hearing clangs and things like. Is he okay? But you see him.
Takers, don't take it personally.
I got the tea. Yeah, he's got it. Don't worry about him, man. He's used to it. He might be a little out of practice, but yeah, he makes a mean cup of tea. That's one thing that Tressum is really good for.
Calm down to the forge to a kind of more maintenance mode, and I'm just Suji, sir. Suji borosilicate.
Mr. Borosilicate, please welcome to my forge. I thank you for helping calm that beast down. It's it takes a little bit. I understand that it's a steady hand that makes a forge do that right there. And he points over and he's like, "Oh, that's actually that's really good. You didn't put it out, but it's still ready to go if I stoke it again. It's really helpful."
Yeah, I didn't want anything to go too out of hand there. All that.
If you've got any tricky metals giving you a problem, you should let Suji take a look for you.
I'll definitely keep that in mind. Not much tricky metal going on right now. Mostly just straight steels and a little bit of silver coming through recently. But
Any Nelfinian coming your way?
come on, we haven't seen anything Melfinian out here in God knows how long. I think the last Nelfinian thing I made was for what is his name out there? Oh my God, Tethril, the dude with the dude who was missing a kneecap that we made that joint for.
Sounds about right. And no,
Yeah.
he did need the lighter metal to make that work.
Hey, stubborn son of a bitch didn't wanna give up. Where I get it, his parents were old. They didn't want to lose somebody working on the farm out there. But I mean, again, they had the coin, so they're willing to work for it. So not my usual, you know, my usual materials I work with. But hey,
Yes.
you buy it, we'll pay for it. It's fine.
Well,
I want to do an investigation check just to see like the stuff around and what I think of the quality.
Sure, give me an investigation check. And so you're taking a look around. It's definitely not. It's definitely not on Doorway's par of as like actually having like the materials and the different material, like different implements and things that you would use for like a full forge for like weaponry and anything like that. They have a lot of more of the intricate tools, things that are meant for like making smaller pieces, making joints and things that function more than look flashy. Which is something I think you would have noticed a little bit is like a lot of the pieces you saw are meant to be functional. They are
Mm.
not meant to be, super, streamline or, flashy or anything like that. But everything is meant to work really well because this is meant to be a functional society.
I love the rustic take on everything around here. Seems very practical.
Uh, we do what we can. It's a lot of people who are, you know, outside of a couple people where we do a lot of work for people who don't have the money to do, pay for full on what is it, resurrections or regenerations. That's the word I'm looking for.
that's
People,
the one.
yeah, the fancy folk who go, to the capital to pay for a cleric or a druid to do replenish a limb. Um, so we try to make sure everything is functional and affordable here in Danaran to make sure that they can still have completely fulfilling and functional lives. So we make sure things are kept affordable here.
Mm.
But
You've met
still,
druids that can replenish limbs?
oh yeah, there's a couple of druids and high ranking clerics down at the capital that are, for the right price can fully regenerate innocent limbs, as long as they weren't like, the joke is as long as it's not taken by God or something, because then it's then you're talking about need like a wish spell or something, which is completely above my pay grade. Revy over there tells me like that's a thing, right? You can wish something back if you pray hard enough. What is it?
It's high level magic. That it's yes, it's a
Right,
whole
magic,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, very interesting.
So yeah, we look out for the simple folk, the people who don't have the money for full limb regeneration. So we make sure that they have something functional for the course of their lives, so that way they can still do meaningful things.
It's very noble of you.
You guys, sorry, I just gotta. Do you guys mind if we call it here? I'm sorry, I gotta.
Yeah.
Run.
Yeah, cool.
Can we?
Yeah, we'll pick up with the rest of this conversation and the rest of Danaran next time.
And ran.
Everyone, yeah. So everyone confirmed already, so we're good for that. Cool beats. All right, I gotta run. Good night, guys.
Yeah.
All right, say goodnight to stream. I'm just gonna call it. Bye bye.
Bye, stream.